Are we live? Oh, we are. Are we live? Yeah, we live. Oh, what's up, everybody? We are back. The same old stuff. I'm looking like, are we live? We are live. I am so excited to be back with my boys. Y'all, it's been too long. We took off January because we had to rest, y'all. We had to get our bears back together. You know, family time. People on here having babies. People moving. Me getting through my emotions and stress and YouTube and all that, but we are back in the building. That's right. And we got drinks on deck, so you know the night's gonna be woo! Tonight, with that Ric Flair shirt on, we're gonna be like woo all night long, baby. Woo! We are back here. Woo! Hadouken! Let me get a little sippy sip on this drink because it's a special sponsor. Get a video coming out soon. That's right, we got sponsors sitting adult beverages on the podcast.
Wait, you gotta drink that right though before you before you take a sip. You gotta stick your pinky in it and just do like the little taste test, and then you gotta the thickness of it and
thickness. Pause.
Yeah, you ever see somebody do that? They
got a little Dr. Pepper on it. And yeah, we got a little. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think about this new camera angle? I'm trying to work some little stuff out. Oh, Envy, you didn't know. Ladies and gentlemen, headlining WrestleMania is my best friend, The Rock, versus the head of the table, Roman Reigns. That's right. Perfect time to put the Rock WWE title right here. We'll put that right. There we go. That's right. Let's get to it, people. What y'all been up to, man? What's up, y'all? What's up, Ness? What's up, Steve? What's up?
What up? What up?
Man?
I know folks in the chat, they're like, what happened to Ness?
Is that an introduction or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes, your boy, the game room gone. It's gone. All the games are gone.
I still see one back there. There's one back there.
Yeah, there's one game. It's right there. It's a Neo Geo game, of course. Yes, no, I'm moving.
Look at that. So. Yes, yo, shields. We're gonna talk about that tonight because we're gonna be talking about, is it evil that you sell your video game collection? That means you go buy a whole bunch of Neo Geo games like me, and then 3 months later you sell it, and then the whole internet, well, not the whole internet, but just
the Neo Geo community
go crazy because you sold it. You can't do that. We're gonna talk about some stuff later on.
I just had a kid, man. I should sell my stuff.
That's right.
I ain't gonna have no time anymore.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations.
Oh no, I appreciate it. That's why I said this.
That's child, man. Tell everybody about it.
No, so that's why I said Steve was asking me. He was like, "Well, so are you gonna be able to come on?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, man. I haven't gotten much sleep. Probably 15 hours this whole week. Last Wednesday, my third child. I have a 15 and 11-year-old, and now I'm teaching one how to drive and then changing diapers on the other hand. So this was, as I've been calling it, our birth control baby, because my wife was on birth control.
Okay.
Yeah. So she told me back on Father's Day, which was also my birthday weekend, that she was pregnant, and I didn't believe her, of course. But yeah, so yeah, she was born. Yeah,
he was all up in there, just like having fun, wasn't you, boy?
Listen, this is the first non-baby thing that I've done in a week. So I was really pumped to be able to come on here tonight. So for me,
yeah,
adult time. This is good. This is good. I'm excited.
I'm glad you're here, bro. I love you, man. I'm glad you're here.
I'm excited.
You actually look good, man. You need to do more of this because usually you look ugly as
well. Well, my wife told me I was starting to look like what did she call me? Grizzly. She called me Grizzly, but then she said I looked homeless because I was letting my beard grow out, and then my hair was growing out. Like if you look at some podcasts that were on, like last week, I
saw those.
I guess I kind of did look. I guess I kind of looked homeless or whatever. So
you did look homeless. I like, dang, man.
So I trimmed the beard back and cut the hair, and yeah. So I'm getting ready. I'm ready for not saying people with long hair. It's that in between stage, right? Like where your hair's too short to be long and too long to be short.
I can't even grow a beard, bro. I'm 45, but I can't even grow. Look, I still got.
It took me a while. But I had problems. But besides that,
oh, stop! What? Look at this over there, like.
I know.
I'm
This
3
guy.
years in. This is like
he-
it looks really short, but if I took a flat iron, this might be like right here. You know, it's like, you know, curly hair and all. And I'm growing my hair out too, so I'm about to grow it out again. So
Man, people are like, look at the Neo Ness. Everybody talking about like, hey, start back over. They don't really know, man. Hey, why don't you go and fill them in real quick, man?
yeah, man. So family and I, we made the decision to uproot once again, hopefully for the last time, into our new home, which will be
A deluxe
Great.
apartment.
yeah, we got to downsize for a little bit. So yeah,
Let me start
unfortunately, the new house won't be ready until July. So yeah, after this,
Wait a minute,
house
that
is
quick?
July.
That quick?
Yeah.
Dang.
So are you're building?
I'm building a new home. Yeah,
Oh, congrats, man.
thank you.
That's
Thank you.
congratulations, everybody. Give congratulations
that's
to the man
awesome.
for your chat, man. He get a new home. Goodness.
Yeah, man.
Definitely blessed, and don't worry, the game room will be back and better than ever. I can't wait because I miss having my stuff
I
readily
know.
available.
Right?
Yeah, I've had house showings and all that stuff, so now everything that's here at the house is my PlayStation 5, my Xbox, and all my Neo Geo stuff is with me. Everything else is in storage. All my Xbox stuff, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4. If it's not virtual, it's all physical, it's in storage. And I'm like, oh, I need it because I'm bored on certain days and I want to play a game. And I'm like, it's in storage and I don't want to go get it.
Yeah, well, at least you keep your Neo Geo games with you, man. That's too much.
Bro, I
money.
can't. No. That's not going anywhere. I can't.
I was gonna ask you because I would be afraid of dry rot, man. Just like even storing it in like a storage container, man. Like
It's.
I don't think it will dry
I mean,
rot like that. It's just a high risk, though. You know?
Yeah, it's.
well, I mean, like the labels could get like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
not the
Amsterdam
cartridge. No, the
and all
cartridge
that
will be
stuff.
fine, but
Yeah, but
You
yeah,
don't want
that's
to chance, man. So what's
Yeah.
new with y'all besides Ness got a new house, Steve got a new baby? I guess with me, man. The last couple months been rough for your boy. Woo, personally and just YouTube wise.
he's lying, y'all. This man's going to freaking Japan in freaking a few months here. He ain't have no rough time.
He
Listen
needs
to
to
him.
go
He's
to
all,
Japan.
I'm going, yes, I already booked my trip
Job
to
to Steve.
Japan. Yeah, I booked my trip to. Yeah, I did book my trip to Japan. Last night, I actually caught a good flight. I caught a good flight last night. I called Ness. Man, I got a good deal. I paid like $1,200 round
Wow.
trip for Japan. That's cheap. I mean, and on Delta, and I still got enough room to like if I want to get like extra leg room and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, 2 weeks in Japan. At the end of April, we're going to Evo. So I'll be doing some content there. If y'all want to see some kind of content, let me know. Send me a messages what I can do. I'm a lot more places this time. I just can't wait. I love Japan. Like that's my second home. I love it. But yeah, it's been rough like past month. Really, seriously, it's been really rough. Like emotionally rough. Like just personally, nothing financial, just really emotional stuff, man. Just like this has been what it was, taking a month off was really good, for the podcast, but even just getting through YouTube, because YouTube, this is the first year really that I've seen YouTube ad revenue, what people talk about when they like hits you in like December and January, that shit just dropped. I was like, it dropped. I'm talking about it dropped. It cut in half. I was like, hey. But I mean, I looked at him like, oh Jesus. Like, luckily I don't need that to survive, but I understand what people going through. Like December and January is, man, like it's cut in half.
crazy.
Nobody watching, and nobody be watching in ads or like don't pay that much. And I'm like, God damn. it was all that at one time, and just like, whoo. But
we also saw a lot of YouTubers that been in the game for a minute that like basically retired or ended their channels and all that. I saw a lot of videos like that. I mean, for somebody that's been this is my 1 year anniversary was last week on YouTube.
congratulations, you're 1 year on
congrats.
YouTube, man. And you did good this year.
Appreciate it. It was
How many videos you get? Like what? 26 videos?
I don't know. I'm over 40 now.
Oh, 40, and you got what now? How many followers?
Just a little bit over 1,500. Yeah.
That's good, man. Like, and it's good. It's really good. That's a really good first year, and just keep on going, man. What you gonna do to diversify your content this year?
I mean, I'm going to continue the Neo Geo videos. Yeah, I know there's a very small niche pocket of the video game community, but I love Xbox. I know you're doing the platinum hits and all
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been collecting platinum hits on the OG Xbox for the last year and a half, so I'm pretty close to completing that set minus maybe 15 games, and I'll be done with it.
Dude, you know, when I first did the platinum hits on Xbox a long time ago, I just gave up because I couldn't find like the NBA, but I didn't want to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I had like all that. So I just gave up. It's like, but now I can't give up. Now, like 360, I found some good stuff and found some. It's so darn unique. Y'all need to check out that series because this is some craziness in that. But you say Xbox and what else?
Really, Xbox. Everything Xbox. I'm gonna start picking up. Not necessarily stuff that you'll see on Game Pass, but I mean, everything's pretty much on Game Pass. But that's my way of testing the game out and figuring out, is that a game that I would like to have in the collection as a physical game? Just because now we're at that point where, I think there was a post last week where somebody was saying, hey, my Walmart's clearancing out all their PlayStation 4, PlayStation 1 games down to $5. I was going to Walmart's around the area. Everybody was still full price. So I guess it's just select, but I think that's just a domino. Yeah, but I think this is the year for Xbox for sure. Just, Power World is huge. I've been playing a hell of a lot of that.
Yeah, somebody asked, and it's like Zach King was talking about, on the Power World trend.
I'm on it. I'm all on it. Yeah,
you like it?
55 hours in the game.
God, yeah, I know I called you like.
Yeah, you called me. I was like, bruh. I was like, man, yeah, I'm talking, but you're like, you listening? I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. What's all that?
He can't do two things. Y'all, he cannot do two things at one time.
If I'm focused, if you calling me when I'm working, then yeah, I'm not.
Ness cannot walk a cube up a gun with the same.
He does it too. I've been on calls with him too.
Yes, he does.
And he'll be editing, and I'll be talking, and it'll be requiring him an answer, and he's like, mm-hmm. Yep. Well, that's awesome, man. And I'm like, that had nothing to do with. And so I was like, all right, man, I know you're busy. I'm going to let you go. And you're like, mm-hmm.
I do it too.
All right, brother, we're going to have to talk some later. I'm like, it's all good. It's all good.
Bro,
that's funny.
That was just
you
me.
right though. It's hard to like do two things at one time. Sometimes I be like, because
especially when you're editing.
Yeah, especially when I'm editing. I be trying to like listen to edit, and because I really do love editing right now. I do love edit. I hate it, but I love it because it's like, oh, I gotta edit. Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I go to Japan, man. Because I'm gonna be there 2 weeks. That's 4 videos, so I'm gonna have to stock. That's 6 videos. I'm gonna definitely stock up before I go there.
How long did you go last time? Was it only a week or 10 days?
No, I went 14 days last time. This time I'm going 16, 17 days.
Oh wow.
So really a full 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I got the hotel I got was right by the airport, and it's like $50 a night. So end up paying like, I say anybody go to Japan, you can go if you save about $5,000, you can go to Japan comfortably for 2 to 3 weeks. Wow. Your plane ticket is gonna cost about from $1,000 to about $2,000. Okay. Then your hotel stays, I say about $1,000. Then you use the rest of that money to play with, buy stuff, eat, food, all that kind of stuff, train tickets, all that kind of stuff. You really need about $1,000.
That's cheaper than going to Disney World.
Is it?
Oh,
I never been.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
I never been to Disney. I forgot y'all got kids and shit.
Well, yeah, but just going to Florida. I mean, Ness, like here from Ohio to Florida, it probably cost me round trip $800 per person per flight. And that's a cheap flight. That's probably even switching in another state.
You got 4. Now you got 5.
Now I got 5. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's not including if you're doing like the day passes at all the resort areas, like if you're going to Magic Kingdom and Epcot and stuff, all that stuff.
Oh,
easy pass.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I want to do all inclusive for sure.
We went. I think we went. I want to say my daughter was 3. No, maybe she was. We went with my son too. He was 7. My mother-in-law did pay for the tickets for their planes, but
That's
we paid
good.
for everything else. But we were about almost $8,000 for
What?
everything for that was for a week. That was
Whoa!
food, park tickets, hotels, everything. Like, yeah, it's no joke, man.
Damn. I mean, you got 5. Well, you got 4 now. I mean, you had 4 then.
Well,
but
we had the 5th one, yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Oh wow. Well, hey.
But we
Wow.
had the extra bedroom here, so it
Mhm.
wasn't like we're out anything, or I have to give up the game room or anything like that.
That's good. You know about nobody taking your basement from you, huh?
No, I'm trying. Well, I'm sure we'll get into that a little later, but yeah, I actually started doing like a series right now on TurboGrafx 16. I know Ness, you saw a couple of the videos I've been doing. I've been trying to do it a little bit different on the shorts, where it's more produced.
How
Yeah.
you like the shorts? How you like? Are you seeing success with them?
I'm seeing success with the shorts, but I've also seen success since I've gone to the more produced side of shorts rather than just like holding the phone up. And like for
Yeah.
my outdoor brand, that's how I do it. Like I'm outside, I'm holding that up, and like people expect that because you're out in the middle of nowhere or something. But
Look, Zach said you a big baller, man. $8,000, boy. That's
but
a
I
deal,
think
guys.
that's where the cream's gonna rise to the top. If you can take the time with your shorts
Yeah.
to make them as engaging and full of content that you possibly can in that minute time,
Yeah.
I think that it's good. I don't know. I'm still experimenting, right? Because
Yeah.
I
We
like
all
you guys,
doing
took
that.
a break, you know.
I'm surprised. Like the Xbox content I'm doing is doing really well.
Yeah,
You know, it's not right now. Now my channel is really weird, right? People who I have a lot of new people who join in, so thank you guys. Your first time on the podcast, welcome. We're gonna have fun. But my game hunting videos are not doing as well like they used to.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you guys something? And I know we're talking about selling collections, but I was thinking about this when you said this earlier, and I
Okay.
want to see what the chat thinks. Is it because Best Buy and Walmart have come out and they're getting rid of physical media? And I've seen YouTubers that collect, even like the Game Chasers and some of these other guys, say that collecting is pretty much almost dead because they've killed it off with physical media, starting with movies, that people are just not interested in anymore to see people collecting physical media because
Well-
they're like,
well-
well, why watch it? I can't get it now.
You know what? Let's get into that. Let's talk about this. So like we talking about selling your video game collection. I have done it numerous times. Numerous times. And it's almost a joke when everybody saw it, especially I ought to get more hate really in some comments, but like on private Facebook groups.
You get
but
hate for selling your collection?
it's mostly in private it's mostly in private Facebook groups from people who like have this like emotional bond to a freaking plastic. They'd be like, "Oh, you can't sell it. We knew you was gonna sell it as soon as you came back and collected." Oh,
Wow.
yes. Oh, how dare you?
Let me chime in on that. So me and Steve had this huge conversation the other night about that, because when he told me he was gonna get back into Neo Geo, I was like, "Hey, dude, are you sure you want to do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I love Neo Geo." I was like,
Listen to this tone, y'all. Listen to this tone.
"I'm not."
Yeah, too, but he knew I was gonna do it though. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm not knocking you for wanting to get back into it, but the community is."
No. Some the AES.
Okay,
hardcore-
yes, the console.
Yeah.
The
You
console
have that in every
side,
community.
the console, the AES
Some of them are
console
toxic.
side of the
And some of them
community.
are watching, secretly watching now.
Oh,
I hate
I'm
watching
not gonna
that.
call. I'm not calling everybody out. There's
No.
some,
Just some of the AES. They're watching now. You know, hey, NeoGeo.com forums.
so I told him, I was like, look, you get in this. Are you planning on staying in it, or is this just going to be, kind of a part-time thing? Are you planning on getting a full collection? Are you wanting to just get a couple of games? Oh, I'm just trying to get a couple of games. Cool, man. All good. I look up. A week's gone by. This man's got 20 games. I was like, oh shoot. All right, cool. All right.
And
no
I
problem.
still haven't told that story about why
Yeah.
I got those.
In a month goes by, he's got 40 games.
Mhm.
By month 2, he's on the verge of hitting 60 AES games. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it took me almost 3 years to acquire that many games. And he had a couple of heavies. He had a couple
But
of heavies.
he sold a lot of his other collection to
He
get
did.
to
He
get that
did.
stuff.
And
right?
let's talk about that. I
Yeah.
sold stuff I wasn't using, and it was high value stuff that I got super cheap, like a lot of sub collection that I wasn't playing, and also a lot of my what was it, my kiosks.
Your kiosks, yeah.
My kiosks, because the kiosks was the big ticket items. I sold like 4 of those kiosks. They netted over $10,000. Yeah,
Huge.
really over 10,000. And
But that's why I wanted to preface that. That's why you
trying to
grew it.
brag, but I was just looking there and saying, like, I don't play these. Like, me and Curtis was talking about today. I absolutely love the chase. I love the chase, but also doing the chase, I get to meet cool people. That's how me and Ness got real close because of Neo Geo stuff. Got me closer, and we got a good friendship on that. We was tight before, but we got even more because of that. I love that. I can never take that away. But the games, I'm sitting here looking like I have about $40,000 on my shelf. I played every last one of those games, but I can play those games everywhere else. I said, you know what? I'm going to sell some of this stuff and use that money for other things. Like I sold a lot of. I killed about 17 games. I still got 17 games to kill. Eventually, if I do sell everything else, I'm going to keep 2. I'm going to keep the 2. But if somebody offers me top dollar for it, I'll sell it. I'll be stupid not.
You talk about the Neo Geo. You have 17 games left.
Yeah, I got 17 Neo Geo games left.
So, Ness, did you buy the other? Did you buy the other 40? Ness, did you buy the other 40?
No,
he already had it.
I had all of them, but
you had
2.
Okay.
He has 2 that I need, which he's holding for me until I just haven't had time to see him. So
he's coming over tomorrow. Maybe he might be over tomorrow to get it.
Yeah,
but, we're gonna record some videos, but no. So, and like this is the brag, but I'm just saying, like my car broke down years ago, right? I lost all attachment to video games because I was sitting on the road stranded. I had games in my car, and nobody come to get me. At that moment, I will never ever have an emotional tie to a game. I don't care if I got it in my childhood. I don't care if The Rock gave it to me. None of that, because like it's just a video game. Come down to words. I said it, and that day right there, I said I would never ever be broke again. And like I say, like I took that Neo Geo money. I paid about to pay my car off, and they use the other stuff, the fun stuff in the business, into my YouTube business. So like going to Japan, getting new equipment and stuff like that. Because I don't want to have to beg my audience to like help me buy something. It's cool if they do super chats and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to beat. I'm just not that type of person. Like I always think if you're in a retro video game person or collecting video games, and you have to ask somebody for some money, sell some of that shit on your wall.
Yep.
Sell some of that shit. Don't be asking people for no money. And also too, like I said, I want to make a video about this too, because I see a lot of broke video gamers, a lot of broke collectors, a lot of broke ass collectors who got broke down cars, broke down homes, but they got $1 million worth of games.
Yep.
It is so stupid. I'm sorry.
Priorities are skewed.
If you feel I'm attacking you,
Priorities,
you
that's
need
right.
to look in the mirror and look at yourself. If you sitting there and don't have no car, but you need a car, and you sitting there hold on to a valuable video game, sell that stuff right now. I'm telling you.
Well, it's funny you say that because back in October, my son, because we were going game,
And that's fun. That's fun.
But I stopped because we were getting closer to when my wife's due date was, Christmas was coming and everything like that. And I was trying to be, as Ness just eloquently put it, had my priorities straight. Like, we got to be putting a little bit of money aside. My wife's not working for 2 months. Not that we need her income to survive, but that's kind of like my play money, and her play money is like what she works for, and everything else pays the bills. So when that's taken out of the equation, you still want to be able to go out to dinner with the family. You don't want the kids to resent the new child because now you broke because you can't go out to dinner or you can't do the stuff that you normally were doing. So what do? Well, my collection's still going to be there. I don't need to collect, every 800 and some Nintendo game like last year. Like that's like you said, it's the chase, right? It's the fun, it's finding things. So I had to prioritize
and being with people, like being with people like you, like me and you reconnected by video games and stuff like that. Yep. Like I absolutely love video games. I love like making connections. Like shout out to the awesome people at Bitmap. who send over these games still going to review these. I just haven't had
nice.
time. But like new games like this for the systems and stuff, they send over games, and I'm probably gonna give one of those away. But
I actually have this I have to review yet. I have the first gen one. This is for your Switch.
ooh, that's nice.
And it goes back and you press the button and it will actually switch the game inside of it instead of having to load it, and you can put like 8 of them. So I have that, and
Oh,
I have
that's dope.
PS5 fan that I have to do too. But yeah, I mean, it's the fun part, right?
It's the fun part. The thing is, what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
I was
Go ahead, guys, get it together.
I was gonna say that, like based off of our conversation that we had, I was like, why is it that we have certain individuals within the community that say, or that they bash a person for selling a collection? Like, you just got back in, or you just got into this, and now you're like,
insecurity, jealousy, or maybe they really want to do it, but they're scared to do it because they don't want to get, they don't want to like get that.
There's that, and then there's also the flip side of that, because I also want to look at it from both lenses too.
Yeah.
My thought process on it is that some of these games hold a memory to certain individuals, right? Could have been their favorite game growing up. Could have been this was the game me and my dad used to play before he passed away, right? Yep. This was the very first video game that grandma bought me, right? These are memories that are held, and when we grow into adults, we don't have that same feeling. We mature, so we don't have that childhood kid feeling. Like Santa Claus came, right? You rip up the present. You don't shut up. you don't have that feeling as an adult. But what you can have is that nostalgia feeling for when you go out and you repurchase that item. You like, I had that as a kid. That feels good to have that. But what I think what's happened is over the last couple of years, people have hopped on that nostalgia train, and now they get it confused. Like, me purchasing that same game that you had as a kid shouldn't affect you if I sell it. That shouldn't hurt your feelings if I let go of that, because I have other priorities that I want to take care of. I have other situations.
And there you go too. It shouldn't, but I don't think a lot of collectors are honest with themselves. I think they hide behind insecurities and stunning, like or bragging on Facebook pages and getting that dopamine effect. Oh, congratulations! Oh, you got a new game. I'm so proud. Oh, wow, getting all that adulation and stuff. Because why I can say this is, I used to be like that a long, long time ago. I used to buy a game and hear it run and put it on the internet, put it in the Facebook group so people can be like, oh, look at me, look at that, look at this. Oh, you got this. You can buy this. A lot of people are not mature enough to admit that these days. A lot of collectors are nothing but hoarders with expensive shelf candy, and they set their all these games up here and like where they could be now. And that's people who are, I ain't gonna say they are broke, but I don't want people to be living a lifestyle of being broke. Yep. Like you should have. Video game collecting is a privilege. It's not a need. It's a want.
Yeah.
It really is a privilege. Just think about that. You actually have extra money to go out and buy an expensive game. Especially, let's talk about Neo Geo, expensive $600,000 game or $6,000 game, $2,000 game. Yeah. That's $500 game. You got you have the privilege and you're blessed to do that. But I think people lose priority because a lot of collectors look at it as like some kind of competition. You can see it, but they won't say it.
Let me ask y'all this question, and this goes for everyone in the chat too. So, do you feel that the last couple of years have been crazy? We had the pandemic, and then we saw this crazy influx of people coming in and buying games selling for astronomical prices, and now those have dwindled back down to real world scenarios. But then on the end of that cycle, now we have companies that saying, hey, we're done with physical, we're removing that. So now it's just like we're in this huge limbo of, yeah, I'm a collector, but the games that I would like to collect won't be there forever. So what do I do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
In that thought process, do we feel that the video game market has started to mirror what some would probably say more of an investment or a stock market kind of thing? Like there's a fluctuation in prices, of course, supply and demand for a certain game. Prices go up and go down. When we don't see that game, generally it hits the market and everybody and their mom wants to go after it because it hasn't been on the market. Are we starting to get to that point to where we're seeing similar parallels with that? And I'm not saying that's what it is.
Right.
I'm just
I
saying
think.
my visibility.
Go ahead, Steve. I'll let you think.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, to go along with Ness too. I've been kind of going with your thought because I've seen video games prices coming down, and I'm sure Steve, you've seen that too on values of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually thought about switching my focus to more the cartridge base because those are the ones that seem to stand the test of time. We all know. I'm not going to get into the argument of disc rot with people. I'm just not going to get in. But
that is true, though. That is.
It is true. But there's going to be people argue that. But I've also seen the failure rate higher with newer consoles than with the older consoles. The older consoles, you can recap them until the cows come home, and they'll probably run for the next 200 years if you keep getting them recapped. So my thought process has been kind of that as well. Like, it's going to be more like you're going antiquing, right?
Yeah.
Than video game collecting. Steve, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just like pondering on that because, like we was talking about, like you said, like the stock market. With the rise of the new generation of YouTubers, and I guess I put myself in that too, of the resale market, YouTuber videos and stuff, and people like looking at money and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the older collectors are being pushed out. They're dying off, and they're being pushed off. I ain't saying they dying, but they're moving off. You see, like more people quitting YouTube. A lot of the older YouTubers are really selling their collections, and just it's a new breed. Like Nintendo is kind of almost about to be like Atari, but it's still because it's Nintendo. Like,
yeah.
I see more and more people. I might not be old. I mean, I might not look old, but I'm older. But I'm looking like, damn. Like, do you know what the NES is? You know, I went to GameStop today, and I asked this guy, "Oh yeah, here's a Super Nintendo game," and he pulled up Kung Fu on the NES, and I was like, "Oh, child, you don't know." Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, I had to check myself because I was like,
hell yeah,
you know, and somebody said about Phoenix resale, you know, but he doesn't really have attachment to any video game. He's looking at it from the value. And that's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of people
but
now
he also came out and said, "I'm going to stop doing some buying and collecting right now. I'm just selling off because." He had some things come up financially where he had to get a second job. I don't know if you saw that video that he had done. But he got his priorities.
I don't follow people I don't follow them.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know because like I try to learn from everybody, right? I'll watch them and try to learn. But my question to you guys is we're all around 44, 45, age.
You are like, you look like you 60. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. Somebody said I looked 72, and I was just like, okay. It's just a troll. It was a troll. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the troll,
I know.
right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But no, to be fair, but I over this process, and I talked to Steve about this, and I kind of wanted to see what you guys think, and even people in the chat room. Are we only going to grow so far as YouTubers and collectors? Because, as you said, Steve, our generation is kind of either dying off, they're selling off, they're losing interest in it.
They don't care about. I mean, the new generation do not care.
They don't care about this old stuff. So when we're at 50,
don't care about physical games, and you know what? I'm all in on it now. Like I'm on board with digital. Seriously, honestly, like I look at my collection. Okay, I look at my collection, right? And my collection, probably I can say I haven't valued it, but if I look at my whole video game collection, talking about like toys and everything, it's probably around about $60,000, right? And if I sell it, I probably can get 50, maybe 45, something like that, right? But I didn't pay that much.
You got to find the right person though too.
Yeah.
I guess that's where I kind of stopped, and I wanted to tie this into what you said about Japan.
She said she made it here to Texas. Okay, good.
Well, I wanted to tie this into what you said about Japan. Like you wanted to do other content besides video game stuff.
All minority who complains about this shit, because I always look at my nephews. My nephews, all of them are under like 13, right? 13, 14 is the oldest. They're all on this. They're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But they got switches and stuff. They don't have them in their digital games, and they're going about their business.
Yep.
I think it's the Xbox, and here's my big bold prediction right here. Before the end of the year, I really do think Xbox is leaving the console business. That's my bold prediction. I'm saying right. I think Xbox is leaving the console business, but selling your collection, right? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I don't know if you were able to hear us.
You were kind of overlapping.
You were kind of so.
I'm sorry. I hate me. I said, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
When you talk about selling your collection, and as we get into this, do you think there's a place for us at 45 going into our 50s collecting this? People even care? Will people even want to watch us?
We're like Uncle Rico on Napoleon Dynamite.
I'll let you know this. My current audience right now, as it sits on YouTube, is the age bracket for my channel currently is late 30s to upper 50s and 60s.
Okay.
That is my age.
So you're saying yes.
Because of Neo Geo stuff.
Well, it's because of Neo Geo, right? Because that audience was old enough to purchase Neo Geo or knew about Neo Geo, right? So, but on the flip side, when I shift into something modern on the channel, let's say if I'm doing an unboxing, that demographic shifts into the early 20s and then mid 30s, right? So that's generally how it goes.
But if you did new stuff, like we did new stuff, like
right
now, current generation Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X, at almost 50 years old, does a kid that has one as well that ranges from 13, we'll say 13 to 28, are they going to want to sit and watch somebody that's almost 50 years old talk about PlayStation?
Depending on the presentation.
Xbox?
Because it's all about presentation.
Okay, so that's what I wanted. That's what I'm trying to get out of here. Like, is there a spot for us? I guess
there is a spot for us.
It is. There's a lot of boring people on YouTube do retro content that are boring.
Yes.
Perfect example. Boring. Have y'all seen the Twitch streamers, like the grandma, the grandpa that play Call of Duty?
Oh, that one guy with the sniper, dude. He is wicked.
That dude was lit, didn't he?
Got a really good following, and he's much older than we are.
And that dude, he was a former military.
He was like a Marine or something like that.
Yep. Sniper or something like that. And he sniped that dude out the belly.
Dude, he's hitting people at 600 meters away.
Yeah.
Like dude, in the game, how to lead the shot in the game. Like he's like, okay, you want to lead it right here? Let's see if this makes the mark. He's like, ooh, got him. I'm like, oh my god, he's cold. He's so cold.
That old dude is cold, man.
And then he's like straight faced, and then he'll just chuckle.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, oh, got him.
I think Steve has said it a couple of times. There's space and there's room for everybody.
You got to be good. You
got to find the right lane. Like, I'm pretty sure if I shifted to just straight modern, my Neo Geo side of the house doesn't want to look at that, right? So it's about finding a happy medium with your audience. And then, of course, right now where it sits, it needs to be about the game, because you can talk about every game under the sun. Is that going to be relevant to who's playing it? Right now, Pal World is the relevant game. My entire Facebook feed is nothing but Pal World.
Even those games, though, those games, they die off, though. Yeah. They have a certain life.
Do they? Because Roblox is still hot?
Roblox is not like it used to be.
Fortnite.
Well, I mean,
these are games.
I haven't played those games, and my nephews and other kids around, they play that, so I can't say that. You're right,
dude. I would tell you this: if you have nephews and you download Fortnite, you will play that game more than you play any other game, especially with the other modes that you can. There's a racing game now on there that's better than most racing games that are out there. There's a Guitar Hero type game that's on there, which is better than Guitar Hero, and the Lego game is insane. It's open world that you can, and that's on Fortnite, which is free.
Yeah, and Fortnite and all that stuff. Yeah, so I do Roblox. Yeah, my niece, she loves some Roblox.
Roblox, yep.
She I gave her for Christmas. I went to this YouTube event. Was it like, I think it was VidCon or whatever, which one it was? Oh yeah, VidCon. And I went to the Roblox booth, and so I got free Roblox money. Gave it to my nephew, but then they gave me a Roblox Day jacket, and I gave it to her. She can't even fit it, but she took that thing out of my hand so quick and put that thing on. It's like, and she 12, 11. No, she's not 12. She's 10 or 9, 10. But the jacket is like an extra large adult, and she put it on like this, and because it says Roblox on it. And she said, "I'm growing to it." I said, "Okay, go ahead, take it."
The games my daughter and her friends play, and they've been playing for like the last 5-6 years, consistently have been, well, Roblox has been the main one. Genshin Impact is another one.
Yeah, that is.
And then Fortnite. And everybody I've asked in her group, all the kids, like, have you played Power World? Everyone has said no.
Because
like,
they're
what
not that age. They're not
exactly. But just imagine what happens when they get a hold of that, though.
Yeah.
Like when it's gonna catch even more fire now, because
I don't think
our
so.
age group is the one that loves Power World, because we're like, dude, please make an updated open world Pokemon game. Refresh. Come on, give us more. The folks that grew up playing
Nintendo like this
are older now.
I dare you to put something out there like this.
I'll say it. I don't care. Ain't no Nintendo ninjas over here. My shit's already in. What can you take? It's gone. What do you want from me?
In my mind, man, though, it's a generational thing, right?
It's a generational thing.
Generational thing, because all of us grew up where Pokemon first came out. We all ran and played the heck out of it. It was great, right? Remember that commercial where that guy had got Pokemon and he saw him growing up, then him and his son started playing Pokemon? It was a really good commercial, but that's us. Now everybody, like, when we got older, we like, man, F this. I want to strangle a Pokemon. So I want to shoot a Pokemon, because of Call of Duty generation.
Well, yeah, the gun. I mean, the gun aspect of Power World is pretty dope. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, though,
9 million on Steam, crazy.
because you guys, Steve, your topic, you want to talk about selling your game collection. Let me ask you guys, though, and I'm not afraid to say it. I grew up poor. Okay, I didn't grow up with.
Me too.
I think we can all say we pretty much grew up. Our parents did the best that they could. We grew up poor, right?
We didn't get everything we wanted to.
No,
we grew up poor, but we didn't grow up like every other week we get a game.
That's right. So my question to you is, when I look around my game room and I look around my arcade room, it's a representation of the things that I always wanted as a kid, but I could never get.
Mm-hmm.
And things that I always wanted, but my parents were like, "Oh, that's a waste of money." And for the most part, they were right. Like the Power Glove, that was a waste of money, but we wanted it as kids. We wanted it as kids.
I got one.
If you saw the Wizard growing up, you wanted
Dude,
that glove.
you wanted that sucker. That was one of the first big accessories that I got, and I got a really good deal on it. And you wanted this stuff, and now that you have it, it was kind of like you vindicated something from your childhood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, right there. And it's a thing with all men. I'm sorry we ain't using this and that. It's a thing naturally bred in men. When we hunt something and we get it, we move to the next thing. That's how I guess I look at video game collecting.
Yeah.
Because once I got that collection, I like
and then you're like, what can I do next?
Like, now some of you guys won't understand that because y'all never been with a female before, but once you get that female, you be like,
come on now.
I think that was a gamer joke there, Ness. I think that's where he was shooting at the hip there.
He was like,
yeah, do you think all these people are living in their mom's basements? Come on now.
I mean,
ouch.
And that's just
we
from the people
have
who
sweaty neck beards on our channel right now.
No, that's just some of the people who hate watching. That's for y'all. Y'all know some of y'all would never ever feel the sweet nectar of another woman.
Stop it.
And y'all be like, Hey, if you like a guy, that's it's 2024. That's cool too. You probably would never touch another human being. You won't like it that. So you probably understand when somebody gets games and sell them. The only thing you got is video games. And you go, oh,
I don't know this man, y'all. I don't know him.
He should go full screen.
These video
Just
games.
guess.
Oh,
Just guess.
Vita all over me.
Hey, you better be careful. You're throwing them games around. People are gonna hate on you for that.
Oh, remember when people just get mad at me when I used to do video games in the store?
Bro,
the games.
You are the most aggressive game grabbing person in the store I know. I'm talking about
100%.
ripping the hell out of them things and ripping and tossing them. I'm like, bro, what did they do? The games ain't gonna hurt you. The games ain't gonna hurt you, but you hurt me.
He don't care. He just goes and yanks them.
I know.
They say especially when they go home for the kitty cat. I'm like,
But do you think you get to a certain point and hoarders mentality sets in where, like you said
We're
about
already
being
there.
attached, but I think people are, it's the FOMO, right? They feel like if they sell their collection, they're gonna miss out on something.
look what Steve said. Hey, shout out to Steve Craig Retro Games. Y'all make sure go get him a follow. He great channel, great dude. But he said, don't sell your collections. Digitally only make our physical game prices shoot through the roof over the next 5 years plus. He's absolutely right on that. Like I said it now. Okay, look at that game now on Xbox. Wait, did I have it right here?
No,
Yeah,
he probably
sent
sold it.
It was the one you sent me.
It's
He's,
right here.
he's looking for it. He sold it already, guys.
Oh,
there it is.
No, this game right here, the Spec Ops line just got delisted. Well, it been delisted, right? But now
took off.
But now this PlayStation 3 version is like $70 on eBay right now, right?
What?
Sealed ones are going for over 150.
Yeah, this is like $70. This complete name right here.
What is it? Special Ops?
No, Spec Ops Online. So you need to go if you want.
I want to see if I have it already. 'Cause I got a lot of PS3.
But yeah, this game right here, this is a $12 game. Now it's going for like $70 freaking dollars. And
That's just all. That's folks that get in early, and it's the same thing they do in the stock market. It's the same exact thing. You get in early.
Just look at that though. Like some video game collections. Though we'll get back to that.
Oh, I have it for Xbox 360, but I don't have it. I don't know if I have it for PS3.
That's good. 360. The PS3 is actually a little bit more. But when people find out stuff like this, people go out and try to sell all this kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you always have that battle of people buying games to resell and collecting trying to get games. But it's this thing in the middle, like people won't get stuff until it's taken away. Just look at the PlayStation 3 store when it got taken down, right? People got mad. The 3DS store, they didn't want to do anything until it got taken away. And like I said, what we try to do as YouTube is like, get these now. Get these games now. Don't wait. Get them now. You still have people, oh, nobody wants them. That's the perfect time to get it. Pawn shops are giving this stuff away.
Oh, yeah.
Xbox One games. Xbox One games here in Dallas are super duper cheap.
They practically give them away as a coaster.
Yeah, we get them like 50 cents a game or something.
Take them all.
Stack.
Take them
You
all.
never know what game is going to like shoot up and that everybody's going to want.
Because I had people, and I have my.
He says,
"Hey, so I had people asking me. So like, I've got my Nomad here, right? I got it completely recapped with the LCD screen in it, and then I have a Genesis multi-cart in it. And people have asked me, well, since you have that multi-cart and it has every game plus European game plus PAL game, everything on it, why do you still collect? Why don't you just sell those games and get money for them?"
There you go.
What's your response on it? Because I do. All my systems have multi-carts because I don't want people handling my originals.
Sometimes when it comes to like big ticket items and stuff right there, once I get it and I get that release and I'm like, okay, I accomplished that. That was a goal I accomplished. I'm happy. But I'm very okay. I'm 100% okay to sell that. Now, sometimes it'd be hard to sell some things. Like if somebody gave me something, or I really spend so much on something, and I'm gonna get top dollar for it. Or also, if I could play this easily somewhere else, I would sell it. But most times, I will buy stuff because I know that I want to play it. I take it like this: the power not power, electricity goes out or something like that, right? Not electricity, but like say the internet goes down, right? But like when the internet goes down, some games you can't play, so you can't watch Netflix or movies. So that's why I still got DVDs and stuff for just in case. I got games just in case I really like that I want to play that I'm not going to give up. That's a really good franchise. I know it's maybe one day going in value that I don't want to pay for anymore. I don't want to go pay $60. I don't want to pay $60, $70 for a game of Puppeteer on PS3. I don't want to pay that, you know. Or like Def Jam Fight for New York, we're going right here. I don't want to pay for that, but this right here, this is emulation running right now. I'm good with that. I got it on PS2, but I still don't want to, you know. So if I got an easy, good way to play it, I will. But I do understand, like some people, you know, hold on to the games, but it goes back to where are your priorities? Where are your priorities? If you are broke and you don't have no money, but you buying games and you living in a bad situation, don't got no car or something, or you got some help or something, sell those games and take care of business first, then re-click again. They'll be out there. You might have to pay a little bit more, but you will get it back. I'm proof of it. And I ain't saying my way is the right way. I'm just saying it's logical. Just don't be in debt. I hate to see people in debt. Don't accumulate debt, especially if you don't know how this economy is going to be working, all this kind of stuff. You just don't know how the inflation, all this stuff is going on. You want to be comfortable. People are like, oh, I want to go to Japan. Sell some games. Sell $5,000 worth of games and go take you a trip. Get out the United States. Get out your house. Get out your apartment. Get out your parents' basement. I always say gamers in parents' basements, which I love to have me a basement. But you know, that's big space. I mean, get out there and do that. Go buy you a car. You know, you can buy a car for $10,000, $5,000. You can buy you a nice car. You can buy you a nice Lexus for $5,000. You can buy you a nice IS3. You can buy you a nice IS350 for like $6,500.
But there's
nice one.
There's a guy in the home arcade space, and I'm not going to say his name, and I'm not going to say his channel, but he has he's been collecting these 1-ups, right? Mm-hmm. And he lives in an apartment. Okay. Now I know if I was living in an apartment, my wife would shoot me if I was buying these cabinets and not buying a house, right? Like,
is he single though?
No, he's got a wife and he's got a wife and kids. I'll say it like that.
That's not near.
So and it's not a knock on him. It's not. But it's a knock on priorities because I understand you want the toys. Like I know at my old house that I bought, we ran out of room, and my wife's like, before you get any more broadcast stuff, like we really need to look into it, you know, because I wanted to try another TriCaster, which are like $40,000. And she's like, you know, before we get into that, we really need to get out of this house and get a bigger house. And so that was the priority. But then once we got here and I have this whole basement, as Steve said, I'm not giving that up. She was basically like, do whatever you want. If I want to put 30 arcade games in here and then have a whole other room with console, I can do it, but I'm not going to jeopardize my family's financial future to own, you know, rare video game consoles and video games. I'm not going to do that.
You know, when it comes to every man, I consider a man anybody over 21, especially if you, and people getting married younger and younger too, right? Every man got to make a decision for his family. I say if you can do both, you can collect. I know collectors who has a nice family, nice house and job and car, and they had no debt, and they do it. That's where it should be. But if you have like credit cards and student loans and high stupid car notes, sell some of that stuff and pay it. Me and Ness, we both right there because we are kind of like alike in a lot of ways. Every day I be thinking about like, he want a new car, he want a new truck, I want a new car. We both don't need it. We both don't need it.
Well, there's
you don't.
I'm not getting one right now. That was
no, but I'm saying, but we don't. But we don't.
Yeah, later on.
But are you guys of the same opinion? Like we buy a new car all the time, like every 5 years, and it's the reason I don't want to
buy a new car every year.
Well, no, I don't want repair bills. I don't want to be putting tires on my truck. I buy a nice truck. Like I have a nice Silverado outside, like it's 2023. My wife has a Toyota Highlander 2023. Like it's loaded to the max. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be putting brakes on it, so I trade it in. And
That's why I bought a Tesla.
I
I want to do all that stuff.
don't wanna do
so
either.
for me, it's a little different in that category because
Look at him. Look at him.
prior to my current career, what I've got going on, I was in the automotive industry. So
okay.
I know how to work on cars. I know how to bust tires. I know how to do all that. So that's not an issue for me. It's when I do purchase a vehicle, I know what car manufacturers are actually junk, and I know what car manufacturers actually put out decent or quality vehicle. You know, what tires to put on, all that stuff. So I know all that. I'm not too concerned with that. I generally don't buy a vehicle, you know, just because I need to do this and do that. I'm really picky with the kind of cars I want. Now I'm in a mode where I'm like, I'm getting older. I've got a 4-door sports car, and my big ass is trying to roll out of this thing every day. And I'm like, you know what?
And the kid's gonna be big and ain't gonna
His car.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, boy.
I'm like, damn, I need to either get in the gym and do some yoga every morning, or you gonna sell the car. Which one are you gonna do? Well, my lazy ass would rather just sell the car.
Like, hold on. But man, you're in a position you can do that though.
But I wasn't always there though.
No, you're not. But I'm saying like a lot of what I'm talking about, like selling your video. I say sell some stuff if you're in a not too good position. But if you're in a good position, you got a good job, you got good credit, you got really what next? You got what three incomes. You know how I'm saying. You know you got good income. Then you got enough room to do other stuff, and also too you got to hustle. You got to know how to make some side money.
Right.
A lot of collectors don't know how to make side money.
Is where it is you got, like, I learned a lot from you just watching you move. Like the way you, like, y'all, everyone in the chat, the way he accumulated the Neo Geo games was mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling to a lot of the long-time collectors in the community. We're like, how the hell did he get all these games so quickly? Like, he was posting every other day in a Neo Geo Facebook group. And everybody was, it legitimately got to a point to like, bro, you're gonna post every game that you get. That was the comments that he was getting.
That's ain't lying, man.
I'm trying to share the fun right now. I'm on the hype.
I always been like that. I always been like that since I was like 13.
Well, wait, you were at the convention. We were at 2 conventions this year together. Mm-hmm. And there was those 2 Nintendo games that I really wanted. I had all those trades, right? And I had very good trades.
Yep.
And the guy was kind of on the fence. And Steve's just like, come on, man. He's like, he's giving you a lot of bangers. He goes, how about all this in $100 cash? And then he gets these 2 I think the Nintendo games were what? Total value almost $800, right? The 2.
Yeah.
Okay. They were like $400 a piece. And Steve's like he's giving you, you know, come on, work with him. And he's like, all right. Like, I'm standing there like trying to get this guy. I'm twisting his arm, and he like Steve's just like, look, he'll give you $100 cash plus the games, and we got a deal, right? And the guy's just like, yeah, we got a deal. And he didn't know Steve. It's not like he knew Steve was a YouTuber or he didn't know. Like,
I just got that net.
He just threw it down. I'm like, I know how to like. My mom taught me how to wheel and deal. Well, I say wheel and deal. I just say wheel and deal. But yeah, the art of negotiation. I love the art of negotiation. I'm not scared to negotiate. You're just talking to somebody and coming to a common thing because we both want. I want what you want what I want, or what I have. So let's make it. Let's meet in the middle. Let's do something. Let's get to it. Because most of the times when I get stuff, I'm not paying that much for it. Like the Neo Geo stuff, like the stuff I sold and all this stuff, I didn't pay that much for it because I hustled and went and got it. A lot of people are too lazy. People won't get up and go. People don't see all the days that we don't find stuff. Me and Ness, we talk about it. People don't see the long 2-week droughts, 3-week drought, month drought that I won't get anything. Yeah. They don't see that. They don't see all the stuff. They don't see all the hours you waking up at 2:00 in the morning. Oh, let me get this deal real quick. They don't see all that stuff. Right.
Product.
They just hate on you when you get it.
I mean, I guess they hate. But
well, no, I'm saying like you're saying certain communities, like because like even me, like
certain individuals.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've kind of diverted my attention. Like you guys know, I have that. Well, maybe Ness doesn't, but Steve knows I have an outdoor brand that I.
You sticks up, you can't fit inside.
since 2018, but I really didn't put a lot of attention into it. And I've really been doing it lately.
Look at that comment. He said, "You 6 feet up and can't fit inside it."
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
No, you're good. I didn't see you pulled the comment up.
That's funny. He said, "You 6 feet, you can't." He his big ass can't fit up in the elbows. He got that nice ass car. He need a truck. That's what we was talking about. Like,
I love my truck.
Let's deter real quick about today, because like I said, how me and him are. Like, I want me a brand new car. I don't need one. My Tesla is just
no,
fine.
I don't. I didn't.
I'm about
need
to
one
pay it
either,
off.
but I don't want
He
to.
got a nice ass car, y'all, nicer than mine. Luxury, nice car, but he can't fit into it. So he trying to find ways to get out of that joint.
But you guys know, as you get older, you don't want to be crawling around underneath your vehicle to fix a broken brake line. Like, I don't want to be doing that. Like, when I was a kid,
that. I'm taking that to the shop.
well, no, but I'm saying when I was a kid, it was fine because you nickel and dimed everything. You want to change your brakes, you either do it or you have somebody. But my attention really has been, even after having this kid, like, talking to my wife, there's a possibility there's 50 acres that touch my property that I would love to buy, because I do a lot of hunting, I do a lot of stuff on the land. And before if there's haters out there for that, we actually eat deer meat. Like, it's not
Steve, I need some deer meat. You need to send me some.
Yeah, I mean, you would eat it. You wouldn't even know it was deer meat if I gave it to you.
I love deer meat.
So we want to do that more and more, especially with the crap that they put in the food today. Like, I prefer to feed my own herd of deer that are out there in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for another story. But my point is, my priority right now might not be like spending thousands of dollars on video games, and I just kind of do it in passing. But it's more like saving money to buy the acreage, or a down payment for a loan for the acreage, or paying off bills, like Steve was saying, so you can afford to buy the acreage. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, I think I still love this stuff, but I'm not attached to it. Like, if I had to sell it, so like if they came and said, "Yeah, we'll give it to you for this amount of money," you best believe I'd be on there on Facebook Marketplace, putting my Jaguar, my TurboGrafx, like everything.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get money for it, because I'm over it. Like, I would be reminiscent of my past, but at some point you also have to let your past go.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I'm not there just because I've only been in the game for a couple of years, right? So for me,
could you get rid of everything but your Neo Geo collection?
Easy, in a heartbeat.
Okay, so there you go. You go.
Yeah, I've said it numerous times. I am more than happy to let go of every single video game outside of my Neo Geo collection.
See, I would probably do everything except the Nintendo, only because the Nintendo was my first console as a kid, and I've worked so hard to get the half the collection right now. Everything else I could get rid of. Jaguar, easily. There's no nostalgia. I never had it as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, easily.
It's super easy. The way I think about it now is like, when our parents and our grandparents were growing up, there were certain assets that they thought as not really worth anything, but like cars, like now they're classic cars, and they get restored and they sell for millions of dollars. I kind of think of that for our generation. Our generation is more technology based, right? So, I think of it as these are different forms of assets that our children's generation are going to look at as more of an antique collectible piece of art, right? That's because the foundations of video games are more digital to them, but the physical was the foundation of actually bringing them that joy as children. So because of that, they would look at physical video games as a piece of art. Like, Stadium Events is the Mona Lisa, right?
Yeah.
Metal Slug is Juilliard or whatever, right? So that's the dynamic that I think the future could potentially become for physical media that's left. Because, when we look at it from music, right? We had vinyl, we had 8-track, then from 8-track you had cassette, from cassette you have CD, from CD you have MP3, and now we're just streaming everything, right? Then you had VHS, you know, then we went to DVD, and then DVD we had Blu-ray, then Blu-ray to UHD, all that, and now we're streaming everything. So it's just digital.
That's another thing, man. Like since we are kind of like that last generation who lived before the internet and lived after the internet. We lived during the rise of video games, the crash, the rebirth, the new generation, HD, physical, digital, and now physical dying. We're in a totally different generation right now. We're the last people to do this, and we're looking at it from a small mindset. Like, while we're sitting trying to like circle the wagon around physical media, everybody else is like digital. Do I need to own it? Small percentage of people who care about that. But because so many people now are on the move, doing other stuff, physical, like media entertainment, it's so much other things than entertainment. We got to realize that video games is this small little bit, but they do a big numbers, because we see movies like The Last of Us or the series and all that kind of stuff. But still, digital is coming. Pause, and it can't stop it. We cannot stop the rise of digital.
I would have never thought that we would have lived in a world where, you know, VHS was obsolete, and now a sealed VHS can go for like $20,000 or $30,000. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Like the Little Mermaid first print is worth a lot of money, and other stuff. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they have to have certain things on. There's certain markings on it.
Certain marking.
But I even look at, like, when I first started collecting with like the arcade 1-ups, right, and like those 3/4 scale, I had zero intention of getting in the consoles, because I'm like, these multicades, I can play every game from every system on it, be done with it. And people like, this brings nostalgia of the arcade, you know, and I know we can get in arguments about emulation and how they're not the greatest cabinets, which is fine. Me and my friends and my family, we still love them and play them. But I could see myself, again, I started with these and ending with these. Like, that's all I have. Like, all the console stuff gets sold, all the games get sold, and I just have this as my game room, and I free up that other room again. And I'd be okay with that, because I could still play them. And to me, there's more nostalgia in that, because of remembering going to the bowling alleys when my parents had bowling league and playing WrestleFest for 2 hours, you know, or even the Neo Geo. That was the only place I played the Neo Geo arcade, was at the bowling alley. Nobody else had it.
Yep.
So yep. I honestly think, like, there's still room for that. And like you said, with the digital stuff, that's all my kid wants. Like, I mean, he's collected physical only because of what he's learned from watching us. And me. Exactly. He understands the value, but he's looking at it from the perspective of, I don't really care if I have this Nintendo game. I don't even care if I have this, you know, whatever game. But I know, based on looking at Dad's stuff, it's worth money. So in 20 years, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to use it to buy something else. He has zero nostalgia for it.
None. Zero. I've asked my daughter multiple times, like, hey, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. So I'll leave all this to you if you want it. She's like, I don't need it. I'm like, fine.
And we're like,
huh?
And the sad part is, she'd end up selling it probably for like
pennies on the
and I almost think, like Steve was saying earlier, like, you know, sell it and take a trip to Japan or something. Like, what's your kid gonna remember more? Are they gonna remember like the video games? Like, yeah, they'll remember it, but what are they gonna get more out of the trip to Japan, or, you know, you handing them video games that they may not even be able to sell one day? Like, I look at all the baseball cards that I had and football cards that are worth nothing that I got rid of. Like, I spent thousands growing up. I know I did on those cards, and I got $100 for all my card collection.
Yeah,
because
my comic book collection I got rid of last year, and I've been out the game for so long, I didn't know what any of that stuff was worth. I really didn't care. It was just taking up space. But I'd had those comics for 25 years, and I'm sitting there like, these guys knew they pulled a fast one on me. I was just trying to get out of the house and downsize a little bit, so I took an L probably. I know I didn't have any Spider-Man number ones.
Right.
I didn't have any, like, super rare or anything, but I'm sure there was some nice gems in there, but it didn't mean anything to me.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
100%.
that ship has come and gone. So I was like, you know what? That was something that I was super into when I was younger. I had them all these years. Mind you, I still have baseball cards, old American coins. I have all that stuff just because that stuff's been passed down to me from my grandparents, and I can't let that go.
No, that's different.
In the family. That's stuff that's been passed down through the,
all my
generation.
stuff was like that 90s baseball card football where it was mass produced. That's worth basically nothing. Yeah. And I said to my son, do you want me to hold on to these more that you're going to want them one day? He's like, no. He's like, I'm not buying football, but he's not into that. Pokemon cards, he's all for it, but not that. So why keep it, right? It's just going to keep depreciating. So I ended up buying him some Game Boy Advance games because he was trying to get the whole Game Boy Advance collection, because of what we were doing and stuff. So
eventually he might get tired of it.
He might get tired of it, right? So he can always sell, and that's what I told him. Because he's got some heavy hitters. He does have some heavy hitters with Pokemon and stuff for Game Boy Advance. But I told him, you can always sell it. If there's a game you want for a Switch or PlayStation 5, sell it.
You know what, man? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, this generation is different from us.
It is.
We were always going after the next best game. Like, always. Like, there was always something new we had to go get. This generation, they are laser focused. When they find a game, but the way the games are made now, they build games within games. Like Roblox is a perfect example. There's tons of different games within a game. They've just built this massive world and network of things that keeps them engaged the entire time. Fortnite, I mean, you got the skins and all that, and they got all these events, but that's another way that they've continued to do these things. And ours are very linear games when we grew up with, right? We knew we started the game, we had to beat the level, beat the boss in the game, done, on to the next. It's just a never-ending cycle for the games now, which I think is why that this generation of gamers doesn't really care about whether or not, mom or dad has this old collection of games. Yeah, those are cool, but that's not going to hold my attention for very long because they're not that engaging. Right. So it's just kind of a catch-22 depending on who you're talking to.
Well, the other thing, Steve, when you had your whole collection and you had all the arcade, and I don't know if you still have your arcade 1-ups, but did you have?
I got 2 left. The other, I ain't gonna say I never bought arcade 1-up, but I just too much to care for.
No. I'm not saying it to go down that road, but I was saying when you had that, you had your game room and you had all your collection. Did you have a lot of people over to enjoy that with you, or was it just more like you just got to enjoy it?
I got to enjoy, especially if it was during COVID and stuff. But a lot of people didn't come over, especially I stay a little too far. I stay a little far away, so.
Well, no, I
didn't have a lot of people to come over and just play
that. I think that's one of the reasons that I've held on to my stuff for so long, because I have people come over weekly. And we have weekly game nights on Saturday nights where people
that's good.
Arcade, we're enjoying consoles that they've never played. They got access to games that they've never seen. But I asked myself, if I didn't have people come over, why have this stuff?
You know what? And to say that, man, I just thought about, I think, and I can say this because I did it, we have to collect for us.
Yeah,
we have to collect for us. I used to collect for other people. I used to collect for like getting admiration, accolades on Facebook and social media and stuff. And like, here's a new thing. 2 people like, you bought this to make a video, dumbass. Why would I buy a $2,000 game just to make a video? You've really just people say that to like justify what's in their head. They're trying to like, why are you doing this? So
they say that about 1-ups.
They want to see something done because they're not used to that.
Yeah.
It's not it's people who just really just like, you just doing it for a video. They trying to like really think in their mind like, oh, I gotta find some kind of way to make myself feel better to justify why they doing this over here, and because I can't do it. But you gotta collect for yourself. You can't collect for other people. You collect for other people. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. You're gonna be broke. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be stuck with some games, and then you're gonna be. And this is another thing too we was talking about. Some people are afraid to sell their collections because they're scared or afraid what people are going to think about them, or they're going to feel less than. They're like, their identity is tied up into these games. You do not let your identity be tied into a video game.
Or they say
Video
you're
game is
money.
supposed to be fun. It
Right.
don't matter how much money you spend on it. You can spend
No.
$5 million.
They'll say if you're selling it, you're hard up for money. That's why you're selling it. It's like,
Oh
no,
yeah,
I just don't
that's
want it.
another excuse. People try to figure out which they look past of that you in a house, you got internet, you got lights, average people don't think that way.
Well,
People who have this parasocial relationship with video games, they think like that. They don't think normal. So they have to think outside, like what I gotta find some kind of way to, to see how this person is enjoying life. They don't think like that. So yeah, it's kind of craziness. But this only happens on social media. This never happens when I go to conferences or like
now,
shows.
you know,
These
folks aren't gonna say anything in person.
Yeah, I know that, but I never meet nobody. I never meet nobody like that. It's always the number
No,
one
he's
place
got a
I see is Facebook, private Facebook groups,
Yeah.
private Facebook groups,
Yeah.
Twitter, and Instagram.
Well, Twitter's
And
a
these
cesspool,
comments. So really, social media. I never see that. I never see it. Never.
Well, the way social media is now, right? There was an unwritten rule when social media, quote unquote, first started, right? When Facebook first came out, it was very modest, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was your mom and a couple of friends that you went to school with, and that's what it was. And then, your more risque stuff would have been on Twitter, but that was still, very mild. And now it's just grown and bled into, I mean, hell, you can get on LinkedIn and people can be kind of just crazy. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this is
I ain't never seen people look crazy on LinkedIn. They go crazy on LinkedIn.
bro, do you understand that, you say you're trying to look for a job, but you're on here acting like this? Like, I
So-
don't want to hire you for that.
So
That's
to
crazy.
your point, there were people. Cleveland, when Steve said like in person stuff, Cleveland was my first experience with that. There was guys that would talk smack on me in the YouTube community, and when they saw the setup that Cleveland had given me with the panelists, and I had like guys like Nintendo and some Sherry 5 and all these guys that like got billions of YouTube followers and subscribers and Twitter and all that stuff. They were like, "Hey, we want to do a panel with you," because they saw the professional setup and everything. Like these people just kind of like they stood back and they couldn't say anything because they're there in person, right? Like they just, like Steve said, they
see you
weren't
succeed.
keyboard warriors, right?
People only could criticize you. This is how it is. Humans. This is how with people. And I'm just going to relate it to video game collecting. You started right here, but you start doing like this and moving up. When you start moving up, you start getting more plastic, more games, more attention. You got more money. That's when the hate and the jealousy. You don't even have to say it. You can see it by how people react, how they just anytime you pop up, you just sit there living your life. Because social media is what's being
That's it.
social.
You just minding your own business, doing your thing, man.
And then people take it the wrong way and they get jealous and mad over plastic. Y'all need to. I don't know. It's some weird stuff.
I think part of it is jealousy for people because maybe they can't afford or don't have that exponential income, or maybe that
or they don't have the social skills.
They don't have the skills, or and I've made some deals, not as good of deals as you've made, but I've made some deals, and I think people don't want to do the work. They want the reward, but they don't want to do the work, right? Of going out and like you guys doing hunting Neo Geo games and trying to get them as cheap as you can find them because they are super expensive games, right? They want they don't do the risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I said that's Steve, not me. He was the only one
yeah.
to be able to get them cheap. I couldn't get them cheap.
Hey, I got it. I got blessed. I found these things. Hey, you was right there for the whole ride. And like I said, I didn't like just. And somebody made a comment, which is a really silly comment. They're talking about, oh, you said using this for Neo Geo full life, Wolfpack. Woo. I didn't say I was an AES collector. I said Neo Geo. I've been for video games for life. That's all stuff. I don't just have to be
Your
AES.
interests can change, man. Like what
Yeah,
the
but
heck? Like
People just don't understand when you do something different that's not the norm. It rubs people off the wrong way.
people got butthurt when I said I was gonna stop doing like the home arcade videos and stuff. Like I bought a brand new home arcade. I got the class of 81, right? Because it looks almost like the original from Arcade 1-Up. Like they actually did a really good job on it. No
Mhm.
riser. I did no video on it. I made it, put it on Instagram.
You don't have to do a video like on
No. But I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
that's why I bought it, right?
And- yeah. You
And that's
spend
where
your
people
money.
were like, "Oh, I thought you're not going to do anything in the home arcade community anymore." Well, doesn't mean I can't buy something from it. It just doesn't mean I'm going to do content, right?
Exactly.
You know, like we enjoy it, we play them, just like you. You know, if you decide, hey, I want to get rid of this because I want to take a trip, or I'm
Somebody-
going to go collect Vita.
Somebody said there are no cheap Neo Geo games.
There really isn't no cheap. games.
There are no cheap Neo Geo games. Even though I say it on the channel, like, hey, this is a relatively cheap. That's cheap by Neo Geo standards. Not everybody else's standards.
Well, hey, at Game Closet, and I know who you're talking about because we were talking with Brandy about that, and 100%, 100% Game Closet.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Like, yeah, no, it's just so weird, right? It's the money thing. It's definitely a little bit of jealousy in it. Don't matter what nobody say, it's a little bit of jealousy in it. Because like
I don't care. I
I
really
don't
don't.
care.
I don't know them. Like, look, I feel like I've built a really solid relationship with you guys. There's numerous people within just from my time of being on YouTube. Like, I don't know these people personally, but the folks that continuously come on the channel, message me, we talk about the game in the comments. Like, those are genuine individuals that enjoy the games. That's who I love talking to.
That's it.
You know, in
It's
Instagram, I'll have people messaging me like, yo, I want to get into this. How did you get started? I'm like, and it could be 2 or 3 days straight, me and one person just going back and forth in DMs talking about video games. But some people are like, you don't even know this person. It doesn't matter. It's about the game. It's not about it's not like they're asking for my social security number. We're talking about video games. It's just.
Well, when I first saw your video with your background like that, you caught my attention because I was like, oh, what is he going to do next?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, he
Yes.
sold his collection because he needed money. It was kind of like, oh no, something big's on the horizon here. Like,
Yes.
I want to know what he's doing.
Oh, I had
That's
people.
that's what I
messaging me.
thought.
I had people messaging me directly, like, "Hey, what games in your Neo Geo collection are you selling?" I'm like, "What? I'm not selling my collection." Oh, well, I thought you sold everything. I'm like, "No, did you look at the video? I'm moving." I literally said it multiple times.
I remember you said it before to us on the podcast way back when, and it just slipped my mind. But even Steve, when you posted that you kept 17 of your Neo Geo games,
Mhm.
first thing out of my mind was not that Steve needs money. My mind went, uh-oh. There's going to be a big bombshell video of his next video game hunt that he's going to do. Like he just did the greatest hits for PlayStation. Is he going Super Nintendo? Is he doing Genesis?
And then and me,
where's he going with this?
I still haven't made that Neo Geo video. I don't know if I ever will. I want to make it, but I don't.
what?
Because my thing is like, my whole thing is I want people to relate. I don't never want nobody to feel less than because they can't buy an expensive game. Nobody should ever feel like they can't do something. They always should be feel empowered that they can be like, I can do this too.
Yeah.
But also too, like it ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. Can't do it, but you can give people steps and the ideas so they can do it.
But even people's goals, right? Like let's use Brandy for example, Gamer Aimer, right? I'm not going to give out her goals because I know she's talked to us privately about what what her goal is.
But she's comfortable. She's comfortable what she's doing, though.
If you know what her goal is, you understand why she's got this massive collection and why she continues to build that, not just because she enjoys it, but there's a method to her madness, and eventually she'll share it. But you know, people get jealous of that, right? They've asked her for receipts. They've asked her.
They get jealous because there's a female.
But it's still like, who asked for that?
The most people in the retro community get upset because when they see a female doing well or they see a black person doing well. And they get
so have you guys ever had that happen to you where they want to see like receipts for your Neo Geo collection or
I've had the most dumb comments sent to me. Like, you have all these games. Why are you having them on $100 shelf?
No.
Like,
come on.
Just
are you
dumb.
serious?
Just dumb. Just stupid stuff. Like, you have thousands of dollars in games. I bet they're not even real. I bet you're just a poser. I'm like, dude,
those have to be kids. Like
I don't know, bots, whatever. I'm like, who hurt you? Because you know, and
right.
I like, look, I'm not gonna sit here. You're not gonna get a rise out of me. Like Steve will tell you.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot from coming down from you.
I look at it in the most positive vibe ever. I'm the most positive person, one of the most positive individuals that you could meet. Unless you talk to my wife, and that's a different story.
Maybe I got to talk to you, like, because I had a troll this week.
I'm gonna tell this. If I'm talking to this, I'm talking to his wife too.
Because Ness, so check this, right?
She's generally.
Let's talk about every time I call him. Oh yeah, hey.
So Ness, check this out, right? So I was on this show. This guy took everything I said completely out of context and worded it to make it look like drama, right? Where I was asked to tell the story of what happened on this certain situation. And the only thing he could come up with, I was telling Steve about, Steve watched the video, is, some of my shorts when I was holding the phone and stuff, it would show my ceiling. And I have one of those, like, I guess they call it a popcorn ceiling, where they took you know how like it's not smooth. It has like, I forget and the only thing he could come up with to pick on me for, he's like, yeah, you keep showing that ugly ceiling that you have. I'm like,
what?
Really? Like, of all things that's what you come up with to attack me? Like,
I don't understand where. I don't know. I think it's just a mental thing where some individuals out there, they need to lash out to make themselves feel better about the situation. It could be envy. It could be they used to have that and they wish they never got rid of it. It could be a multitude of things.
Yeah.
Like for all those individuals out there that have that kind of hate, I feel for them in the most positive way. I don't want to put any negativity out there. There's tons of negative crap out there in the world. We don't need to put any more of that. YouTube is filled with negative YouTubers that want to just talk about the negative aspect. We see it in the news. We see it in everything. It just, like, there needs to be a more positive outlet in terms of how we talk about our video game community. We have to uplift everyone because everyone is in a different stage in their life, stage in their collecting aspect. Whether you're the YouTuber that's got whether you're just not even a YouTuber, whether you're just a video game collector that has this massive collection, your entire house, or you are a first-time collector and you only have 5 games, but those are the best 5 games that you ever played, and those are your favorite 5 games, and those make you happy. That is what it's about.
I don't think a lot of people are happy, because, like I said, people treat video game collection like a competition, which is really not. It's not a competition. Like, I love going to video game conventions and just talking to people. Nobody's competing about that. Now people are like, now they'll say like, oh man, I love your collection, or man, I want to get that. I like, you can get that too, but it's never out of jealousy. It's like, yeah, I can't wait to get that one day. And they get to it, they good. It's not like I want it on the internet. It's really the vocal minority on the internet. Like Steve talking about this, like one person, or I'm talking about like 2 or 3 people who, and and I look at them like, your identity is tied up into some plastic.
Yep.
and they sit there and hate watch, and then they sit and wait till a moment of I got you moment. And then I would listen to like Joel Osteen the other day, and a lot of people have his opinions about Joel Osteen, but he was talking about, and it was a real good time message. It was talking about like, don't let people bait you into conversations or arguments. People will like try to sit there and argue with you, even though they know they're wrong. They will like they're right. You were like, yep, you're right. I'm gonna let you win.
Right. Yep.
You're right. You win. You can win. Because some people will sit there, argue back and forth, and try to win. And I'm like, all right, cool. You can win. And with me, oh my gosh, it's so tough. It's so
I think
tough.
it's tough for all of us.
Y'all know me. I will go back.
Well, we
I
know.
used to go back and forth with people. No more. I don't go back and forth with nobody. I look over and like, all right, whatever. I either gonna block you or put K and go on about my business. I'm not going to argue with another grown man about what I'm doing in my life. And I'm not.
I find that it is really easy to misconstrue a message over anything. Text message, just a comment. The wording could be just, it wasn't properly presented correctly.
Yeah.
And we read it in a certain way, and it could be presented as negative, and it was actually a positive, or it was just neutral, right? I've had a situation where I had someone leave a comment, and I was like, "Yo, were they bashing at me?" And I was like, and I was in one of those modes. I was in one of those moods that
Right, yeah. Once you've gotten bashed,
you
you're
caught me
like,
on the wrong
yeah.
day, and all I was like, you know what? Hold up. All I said was, "Huh?" And they were like, "No, do you remember that from that show?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you were cracking a joke. I had no
Right.
idea."
right.
Yeah,
But-
sometimes you got to read your comments.
You
And
gotta
that's-
read them.
You got to read it twice. And the rise of screenshots. Oh my goodness, you got to watch what you say, especially when you're in the
Right.
speculation.
Well, and it's I guess because I look at things different. Like since I met you guys, and so I've been friends. For those that don't know, I've been friends with Steve for a long time. Like we used
Ooh,
to
a
do tech.
long time. What?
We used to do
2008?
tech, and we
Nice.
did. He did a show on my network with the Right Way to Photograph. And
Oh man, that was great. That
I when I found him again, and he was doing this game hunt and stuff. It was right around. I want to say it was before COVID. It was a year or two before COVID, and I started watching him. Because my kids, I wanted them to experience games, retro games that I grew up with, and I'm like, how can I buy these games this day and age and get them at a decent price, right? Like I had no idea where to start. I've been out of the video game space for a long time, and I watched his videos religiously, him and a few other YouTubers, because I was trying to learn, right? Not once did I ever feel jealous looking at the success that he had or the games that he found, or like I was eating up. I'm like, there's a guy actually, like, because obviously I knew Steve, but it was like, he's actually telling everybody how to do this, how to get this stuff for cheap, how to get these high-end games in your collection. And he's got people hating on him in certain comments. Now you would delete them and get rid of them. But my point was, then I met Ness, and I'm looking at his Neo Geo collection, and I'm going, not jealousy, but I'm going, obviously this guy knows what to look for with these games. And then you guys did that episode together where Ness, you're kind of going through it with a fine-tooth comb, white glove, where you're like, okay, this is what you want to look for with this. And I started applying that even to some of the other games that I've been buying, like, because there's gems in there. And instead of people being negative, they should look at that and go, wow, this guy's got experience, man. This guy's got something that I can learn from to better my collection, right? Like Steve did. Steve kind of took me under his wing at the conventions. He's like, yo, don't talk to that distributor. He's just going to take you over a barrel. Like, or he would be like, okay, you want to buy something from this person. They give you good prices and stuff. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody ask me, I'm the coolest motherfucker ever. You can ask me anything. People in this chat know, like Game Club, all the people. Steve, you can ask me. I'm not afraid to share anything. I'll be like, when people talking stuff like motherfucker, don't you know I'm the coolest motherfucker? If you meet me, I'll give you my shirt off my back.
He is genuine.
I'm 100% genuine, but your jealousy and your envy make you do stupid stuff. I'm like, okay, man, y'all's dumb as hell.
100%, man.
I'm like, I ain't no killer, but don't push me, you know. I mean, if you know that. Because I can be crazy. I can go back to the crazy Steve. And
I know. Oh, I know.
I can get
I didn't get to talk you off a ledge a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you're in my life because I have learned over the past year to be a little bit more calm, especially with all the shit that I've been going through. A lot of personal stuff. Don't have to put it on there. Don't have to do all the stuff. People know it, But I could be like, oh, I can be just like, ugh. I don't. I realize it's also getting older too, and like, man, it's too much energy to do that. It takes too much energy to go make a hate video. That's too much energy. God dang, I can't understand.
Negative energy costs more. It weighs people don't understand that weighs you down a lot more, a lot faster.
My God, I cannot do that.
The after effects of doing that constantly over and over again. I think that's why video games kind of just, I get so sucked into them when I'm playing them. Like I lose track of time because it just completely just removes me from reality. Like when I find a really good game that I'm just so into and I look up and I'm like, damn, I've been playing for 5 hours. What the? And I missed like 5 text messages. My wife's like, bro, I already ate dinner. I guess you weren't hungry. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I didn't know.
I was actually like that with Avatar over Christmas. Like, and I didn't think it was gonna be that good, but like I got into it and it just like sucked me in.
I would never watch that stupid movie.
The Avatar game?
Oh, the game. I thought the movie.
No, the movie was good too. I didn't mind that, but the game was really good too. Like if you like the God of War or you like
God of War,
it's that style of gameplay. That's the best way I can explain it. That and
there's too much stuff out here, man. Like I said, people make them dang hate videos. It takes too much darn energy, golly.
And you could be making a video on another game or something, right?
And I can make 1,000. I I swear to God, I got like some videos I can make on my phone that I want, but I don't have to.
I feel like if I had to do a dozen hate videos, I feel like I'd have to take a shower after everything. I'm sorry. That ain't me. I've never been that guy. It's just, I've always been the individual that says like, look, here's a perfect example. I was a big gamer as a kid. And there was this one bully in elementary school. Everybody was afraid of him. Everybody. My mom took me to a high school football game. What I didn't realize is that she had talked to the bully's mom. And they met us at the high school football game. We were both in the bleachers. So we were sitting there and she sat me and him right next to each other. Mind you, he had been bullying all the kids at the school, but I just so happened to be the kid that I guess was going to take one for the team. I don't know what happened. I don't even know how it transpired. But anyway, me and him get to talking, right? Because of course he's going to act right in front of his mom, but we start talking about video games, of all things. Video games was the conversation. We were talking about Nintendo. Common ground. The craziest thing from that is we were talking, we were laughing, all this stuff. He was a cool kid. He was just misunderstood. But from then on, when we got to school, when we got back, everybody's afraid. I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? He was like, yo, hey, how are you? He hadn't had that. But then the other kids saw that and they were like, oh my God, he's not that bad. He stopped bullying all the kids. So from then on, that gave me this mentality that like not only video games are cool, video games saved me from, a bully, but there's always a positive outlook from something instead of a negative outlook, right? I say this long-winded story to say that like video games do a lot more positive than they do negative. Now, we talk about the negative side of, selling a collection and people getting mad at it, but there's a lot more positive in it. Hell, we wouldn't be talking right now if it wasn't for video games.
Yeah, I know, right?
On this podcast right now if it wasn't for video games. Yeah. all of you in this chat right now would not be listening to us if it wasn't for video games.
It was.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about any of us.
None of
Video, you know what? Behind video games is the small part about it. People overlook it, but people make it this huge deal, especially online, like this right here. Oh, the game is $70 now. Oh, the scalpers. Yeah, shut up.
He should have did that full screen so we could have sat there and laughed at
that
him.
would have been awesome. That would've been so
Hold
good.
on, I'll do right here. Hold on.
Because that's not, wait.
Wow, it's $70.
I just took a screenshot. That's gonna be my next thumbnail.
I can't believe it. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's my next thumbnail for my next.
Oh, I
Neo
just
Geo.
took a screenshot too.
That is my next thumbnail for my next Neo Geo video.
But he ain't lying though. He ain't lying.
Negativity.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna make that a GIF for my Discord.
Please.
Oh.
Send it to me.
That was gonna be a little GIF. I'm gonna get my daughter to do it. But you're right though. You're 1000% right. That's what everybody does.
All day.
They be mad about it.
Oh yeah, they all cracking up now.
But I'm just saying, I don't care. I'm like, that's
I like when he does it in the video and he's just like doing that and he just stops. He's like, oh, shut up.
Oh my god.
He just stops. He's just like, oh, shut up.
Because people just complain so much about stuff. And I'm complaining about people complaining.
Hey, there's Daryl in the chat room.
Oh, there you go. What's up, Daryl?
Yeah, that would make a good merch shirt. He ain't kidding. We'll get that on the front. Then on the back of the shirt it says, "Oh, shut up."
I need to make some shirts and stuff like that, dude. This year I'm gonna make some stuff though.
You need to do like an animated picture of that face you just made that says, "You're gonna hurt the games." Oh my god! I would so rock that shirt. So rock that shirt.
Don't hurt the game.
I would so buy that shirt. I'd buy it.
I need to do that.
I would go to my next convention and be like, "Yeah, you gotta hurt the games.
You gotta hurt the games."
Oh my gosh, that'd be so
great.
good.
Let's take a little detour, man. Let's talk about a little bit of news. It's pretty crazy, right? PlayStation may be working on a Vita 2.
I was wondering if we were gonna talk about that because I'm like, take my money. Come on.
Vita 2, and y'all look. Hey, last week, y'all saw your boy's video. I'm getting off here. Oh, I can't get them all. It's hard to get.
Yeah, you got all them Vitas.
I don't Vita games.
Dude, I got Vitas too, man. I got them before the craziness happened. I bought it when that was one of my first consoles I got coming back in.
Video games, Vita games.
Hey, be careful. You're squeezing them a little too tight.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you think that the PlayStation handheld was a test the market?
Yes.
100%.
100%.
And I also think it was before its time. It was kind of like the Dreamcast of handhelds because of the incorporation of AI with it, as well as touchscreen. I think that's another test right there.
No, this right here. This is what he's talking about. This was a test.
Oh, that's 100%.
This was a 100% test because this is nothing but a freaking super controller, and the way it's sold, it oversold. Now, it is something wrong with this thing, like the internet thing, but you got to figure that out. But this right here, it was just a super controller. This is just a bigger backbone.
Do we know the units sold for this?
No, we don't. But it's hard to. It's still hard to find one.
It's hard to find because they said I was talking to the guys at GameStop too. Take it for a grain of salt, but they said that the chip that they use inside of it is the reason Sony's can't get them out the door quick enough.
I would
because there's a shortage on those chips.
What kind of chip were they?
Whatever they're using to process the gameplay that's on that's in it. Even though it's doing remote.
I don't believe that, but it's hard to believe that.
So
yeah, I don't know, but that's what and I've kind of read some stuff on the internet like that too, so I just kind of took it with a grain of salt. But either way,
I love this thing. I be sitting in the bed and
does PlayStation have a place? Do they have a place now in the handheld market? right? I mean,
That
yeah,
real?
everybody bought the handheld, right? You've got Steam Deck. I'm sure Steam Deck 2 is coming pretty soon. Switch is still banging it out. Pause. Asus is there.
Hey, I missed
one, but that's another handheld on the market from another vendor. So that's 4.
Well,
Big
let
names.
me answer your question with a question.
Okay.
If they do cartridge-like games like the Switch and the Vita 1, are you going to buy it?
I buy it if it don't.
No, I'm not.
Because it
'Cause
keeps
I will.
physical alive.
Because
Okay.
it says do something
Okay.
with PS4,
So
right?
here's my deeper question here. If physical goes away, does that mean handheld is our last line of defense for physical? If companies decide to say, hey, it's a
Ooh.
smaller, bite-sized, it doesn't cost as much in materials, we can put it on just a smaller cartridge, we can do that.
But if you want digital, wouldn't you just go with a Steam Deck?
No, because Steam Deck is a totally different. It's a
But
totally
to
different
that
audience.
point,
No,
you're
I
still
get that,
exclusive.
but that's going to be the argument, right? Because it's a powerful. What's the other
That's never been an argument. That's never
Asus.
been an argument.
Raw.
Asus? But those types of devices, I guess, is my
Okay.
argument with that.
I see it like this, Steve. Like this right here, that's running Tekken. Like this. Okay, the Switch.
Oh, I want it. I just can't find it.
No,
I
the
want it.
Switch changed up everything. Like Nintendo flipped everything on its head. Like the Switch was just phenomenal, and it was low powered. Then you saw all these companies rushing to do their stuff. What was like Steam Deck? You saw Steam Deck so good because of Nintendo. This
Yeah,
sold
also
well because of Nintendo. If Xbox puts something out like this, everybody will buy it. Game Pass will work great with this.
Ooh,
It-
Game Pass on handheld, bruh.
This if you have a Game Pass type of deal like this from Xbox, this was out. I didn't say outsell it, but it would be up there.
I mean,
It
Nintendo-
will
Way to go,
on
Steve!
Steam
You're giving
Deck.
Xbox their
you can
their
do it
next
on Steam
invention.
Deck right now.
Man, I want that. I want
You can
it
do
so
Game
much.
Pass on Steam Deck.
When you got good internet, look at this. When you got good internet,
Well, my kid-
it works.
My kid does Game Pass on his iPad with an Xbox controller. That's what he does when
Yeah,
he
but
wants to be portable.
But you could do Game Pass on your phone, but to have
no,
a
right.
dedicated machine. That's what I'm talking about.
I
A
get it.
dedicated machine is awesome. I would buy a dedicated. That's why the backbone is still that great. It wasn't really dedicated. I mean, people want to use more stuff to their phone. But
I think
this
the
right
Vita
here
2.
it's so well, and people talk so much crap about this, but it's still so. And people even buy it from scalpers. That's how.
The Vita 1, its biggest draw was being able to do remote play with the PS4. Like that was their first experiment into the world. Where the shortcoming was, is that your PlayStation controllers always had L1, L2, R1, R2. On the Vita, you only have L and R. So any game that required you to use L1, L2, R1, R2, you weren't playing it. Like any Call of Duty game, forget it. You're not playing it. So I definitely see that being a plus, like the remote play if they get it 5G or even Wi-Fi like that one is. But I also think it needs to have its own library. I still think there's a market there, just like the Switch, just like any other handheld. I seriously, I would buy it for that. I really would.
I'm waiting on the Xbox 4K TV to come out.
You think that's
And is that going to be in like the 3D TV for PlayStation, where it dies within a year and physically dies, breaks?
No, I mean, it's literally just a TV in 4K that can produce Game Pass, and you're
No,
just
I get that, but Sony had that
Oh.
3D TV. Do you remember? I still have the 3D glasses for it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same. I'm just thinking. I'm not saying that's real. I'm just saying that out loud. I'm sure it's probably in a conversation. Oh, the baby.
We got a visitor.
Oh, hold on. The baby makes it. Look at the baby.
my
Look at the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Look at the baby. The baby first appearance.
Oh,
this
the
baby.
baby.
Look at her.
She keeps putting. She likes to put her hand up front.
'Cause your breath stink.
This is little Sophia Noel.
Hey, Sophia. She making a. I look at her. She is
Oh,
beautiful.
she's sticking her tongue out. Yep, she was just getting her midnight feeding, and then she's gonna go lay down and go back to bed. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's cute, man. How you feel, man?
Pop in.
How you
We had to have a
feel?
little bit of positivity on this.
Oh, we all have positive. That's great. Thank you. Hey, tell your wife hello. Tell her come back and say hey to
You
everybody.
gotta come back and say hello.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, how you doing?
good.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Well, now she's getting a little fussy.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail it, but
No, that's good, man.
bring
I love
the
that.
baby in. It's all about having fun, right?
Yeah. So, what first game you gonna stick to? What do you want to play? What her to play?
So I'm thinking about doing a funny video, even if it's like a 2-minute video, where I have her while the kids are at school, and like
Yeah.
I do like a stage where like my wife holds her up on like a stool where she's playing one of the arcades, and I can shoot the video at her, but also behind her,
Uh-huh.
and then like put like little captions being like, I'm practicing for when brother and sister come home, and then do like a to be continued. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something like that
Dude,
on the
that
channel.
is awesome, man. It's positive, man.
Just-
Like this business.
Yeah, just to play around, you know,
Yeah.
with having her. You know,
That
shake
was
her
a good
down.
surprise. I love that, man. I said
Yeah,
maybe I had one more one day. I don't know. If I don't, I just buy more games.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also puts things into a different perspective, right? Because like I was like I'm sitting here going like I get to look forward to Christmas all over again, because it's like once they hit a certain age, it's like Santa Claus doesn't exist, and it's like so it's that excitement again for this, and that's where the handhelds come in. These younger generation, these kids, my kids, that was their first console. They had the 3DS, I think. My daughter had, or no, it was the 2DS, and then there was what was the one that didn't fold? You could put it in like a Nerf case. It was
The 2DS?
was it a 2DS? It was where
I
where
got
it
a
didn't
2DS
fold?
over here.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So my
This
son
one
had
here.
that one, and my daughter had the 2DS that folded with the 3D.
This
Oh, no,
right
it was a
here.
3DS.
This?
Yes, my son had that one.
Okay, yeah,
He
2DS.
dropped it in the toilet, and that was the end of it.
What?
And then he continued to pee on it instead of pulling it out. So that was the end of that thing. Yeah, I couldn't save it. It was toast.
Oh my god.
He was only like 3 or 4.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. He wasn't older. He did that to an iPhone too. He got the hand me downs and they used it for video. Fortunately, we were able to salvage that because it was in one of those indestructible cases. We've taught him you don't take that stuff into the bathroom. No, it doesn't end well. That's where I think the handhelds. I think that's where the handhelds are going to come for the younger generation. Personally, look at
But that is cool though. Like the handheld generation that we're
Yeah.
doing now is like Switch had just Switch just went crazy with it, you know.
Bruh.
So what y'all been playing so far though? Me, I've been playing Tekken 8. I've been playing that.
I need to get that.
Oh, it's so good. I haven't had time to dive into the story, but everybody said the story is better than Mortal Kombat.
I heard the same. I heard this. I'm actually
I
low key
really
thinking
did
about getting like the special
Oh.
edition
What have
I'm
you
really-
been playing this?
Power World.
Oh, that's right. You've been
Yeah, I'm playing it on Xbox, so I'm playing it through Game Pass right now, and a lot of new updates are coming to Power World, so that's good. They're talking about dedicated servers for Xbox. Steam already has it, so
Mhm.
folks are they're kind of 2 steps ahead of the console, but once we get dedicated servers, I think it's going to be a much better game. And then, of course, polishing up the bugs and stuff like that. But for just an early access game, phenomenal. For an early access game, Pokemon style with machine guns, and you can still build stuff like Ark. Man, the game is really absorbed a lot of my game playing time because I planned on going back and playing God of War for the DLC, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
But you've been on that Power World, bruh.
Bro, I've been on it, bro. I thought that last week and a half, I played it for like an hour with the first day, and I'm like, okay, I can get behind this game a little bit. I can get it. They do say Power World's going to come to PlayStation eventually, but I don't know, man. I think behind the scenes, low key, I think Xbox might be trying to snatch that as an exclusive.
They
I don't know
need
how
to
they do
smash
that.
it. They need
They
to.
were smart, considering they've had it on Game Pass and they're doing all the console style testing.
You're gonna make me boot up my Xbox. I haven't. booted up in
Man, I'm
months.
telling you, it is addicting. It
Yeah,
is
I
an
need to get an
addicting
Xbox. I don't have an Xbox.
You need to.
I
You know what? I
really
really
360 still.
I
And that-
want a Halo Infinite Xbox.
I wanted to Halo
Oh.
Xbox is still at that store. I might call tomorrow and
I
see.
really want one.
So, you,
It's
so
probably
you guys are all gonna take my game card from me, but I still have not played the new Spider-Man game. Even
That's
though
okay.
I've owned it. I've owned it
I still haven't
since
played
day one.
Zelda. I still haven't played the second Zelda.
Okay, I don't feel as bad because I've been working on that. Mario Wonder I almost have beat,
Oh,
and my wife got me this for Christmas, Pikmin 4.
You a
nice.
Pikmin fan?
It's still in the cellophane, but it looked good. I played the demo, and so I was like, I
You a Pikmin
have so
fan?
much backlog. It's not even funny.
Steve, you a Pikmin fan?
I am now. I never played any of the games before, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
So she actually wanted this too. I got it for her for Christmas. We got it for each other, and we didn't even kind of know it.
Hmm.
We both played the demo, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. So I played it. But I'm waiting for Mario versus Donkey Kong and the new Princess game for Switch.
Oh yeah, Princess.
I
Peach.
really want
I'm
this.
a bad
I
one.
know I'm probably corny, but
No, I wanted to. Like I told you,
they're
like
good games, man.
hey, Super Princess Peach is one of my favorite DS games.
That was a
It's
good
so
DS game. So
It's a good DS game. It's real sexist back in the day, but it's good.
like
How
those
many,
two games we're waiting for. Yeah.
How many games have y'all beat so far this year?
I haven't beat anything yet.
I'm trying to
I've just
think.
been playing it. Like it's
Left
so
4
much
Dead?
stuff. Like
One
so
and
much.
two,
Like I even beat Mario Wonder. I can go beat it, but I just haven't like
Yeah, I'm close to
between
beating that too.
YouTube and all this. I just like I don't want it to. Okay, I don't want it to end.
What
Yeah, it's a
game?
good game.
The game?
Yeah, the game because I was supposed to beat it. I'm like I don't go back to it probably unless I try to 100%. But I mean, it's still I kind of 100% like Odyssey. I still got like about 100 moons left, but you know I'm not wanting to go back and trying to find every moon. But it just I don't. That was such a good adventure. Like once you know, like Mario Odyssey was the last really good Mario game. Really good, like sink your teeth in, like, oh, this is good. I'm playing.
One of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, and now Mario Wonder is a good 2D Mario game, you know,
Yep.
and you don't want it to end. For me, I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 years, Nintendo has been putting out their first party titles has been really, really good. I don't want it to end. I just like, oh, I don't want to put this game.
Do you know what my biggest disappointment was, and probably the biggest? I don't want to say regret because I obviously for the collection I wanted it, but the PSVR 2, I haven't done a lot with that.
A lot of people haven't either.
It's
I
just
told people about that. I ain't gonna say I tried to tell people, but
well, it's the
I
digital
knew.
games. It's all you can get is digital games for it.
yeah, it's the PlayStation VR 1 is probably the best console to get right now. It's cheap and the games are like I ain't seen a game now over $10.
Yeah, I think I have one. I found the Star Wars game for the VR2 that was physical, but I had already bought it digitally because I have that on the shelf. But honestly, there's nothing that's been really compelling to play except Horizon. I really love that game for VR. That game is like, if you get VR2 and you don't buy that game, you're gonna do yourself a disservice. Like that.
Hey,
game.
chat, let us know what games y'all have beat this year. We're putting them up on the screen.
I'm looking at it
Yeah.
right now. The folks in here.
See,
talking about-
Terry's saying I'm VR2. My VR2 is collecting dust at the moment. So he's the same way.
It costs more than a PS5.
But there's no games that, besides Horizon, there's really no games that stand out that say you have to get this VR2 to play.
There's no physical games on that.
Well, that too. That's my big
All the
issue. that happened.
PlayStation VR 1 games. Can the PSVR 1 games work on the PSVR 2?
Not to my knowledge. No.
That's why I say you need it. Like, I think that's why I'm gonna add that to the PlayStation Pursuit.
I'm not
VR
exactly
games.
sure what
Looking
it
for the
is.
VR games because I think it's about like 120 or 150 VR games for PS4, physical games, like, and maybe worldwide by 300. But it's a lot.
Do you know what my kid's favorite game for the VR, whether it's VR1 or VR2, because there is a version for
Astro
VR2.
Boy,
That's the Astrobot.
the
They
game is
love
good.
that game. Like
They need-
They should have made that a game. Like they should have.
They should make him the
continued
mascot. They should make him the mascot.
Dude, that game, I love playing it. Like
You got remake for spoken.
now,
Yeah.
we did. My daughter got
He's
the PlayStation 5 Slim for Christmas. We got her that with the Spider-Man, which I was actually surprised at how small that is compared to the original.
I know I want one now, but I don't need another PS5. I don't.
For $500, and it came with Spider-Man too. Like it was a no-brainer, right? So
I've
So we
beaten
got
7 games this year so far.
you beat how many?
7.
Well, you're way ahead of us.
Well, so I mean 6 retro games, and then I finally finished Spider-Man 1.
How do you
So-
like it? Okay, I want to ask you, what do you think about the ending? What did you think? Emotional? You get to you?
I didn't get emotional. No, it was
What it was
it was to be expected. I
Did you
mean, if
double
you're a
platinum
comic book fan, then you kind of already know. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Did you double platinum Spider-Man?
Oh no.
Oh my son sat and did that. Double
Did you?
platinum.
So are you going to Miles Morales next? Or are you going to Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Miles Morales next.
Okay,
So,
Miles Morales is a little emotional.
yeah, I've heard. I heard it's short though. I heard it's like
Yeah, it's about
It is.
6 to 8
No.
hours, but it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fun.
yeah.
It's really
I'm
fun. It's really fun.
But that's what my son said. So is Spider-Man 2. He's like, that should have technically been like an add-on for Miles Morales. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
do
2 is about 16 hours though. I think about 10 to 16 hours.
Well, you're talking to a kid that's playing Final Fantasy, which is like 60, 70 hour game or whatever or more.
okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
At least we enjoying them.
Final Fantasy. Final
Yeah,
Fantasy 7.
whatever the one that's for the PS5 that just came out, he has.
Oh, you mean 15 or 16, something like that? The one that like Devil May Cry?
I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. I just know he
I
asked.
know the
for
newest
his
Final Fantasy. I
birthday,
got it over
so-
here. I haven't played it. I bought that off of Ice Crackhead.
Oh yeah. So he has Stray too. He got that for Christmas
What is that from?
with the cat. With the cat. My daughter got that one, and
Who
you're-
has? Well,
This Final Fantasy Steve.
yeah, I think that's the one he
that's
has.
16. Yeah, that's 16.
16 hour.
I
16 hours.
got this game. Dude
Oh.
was selling a whole bunch of these games. He had like 8 copies of this, plus some old stuff. And he was selling to a video game store. I was like, "Hey man, let me buy one of those copies." Oh yeah, just give me $15. And I got it for $15.
Wait, how did he get so many copies of that?
How you think, Steve?
Oh, off the. Oh,
Come on. It'll take a
Well,
day.
I don't know. I didn't know if he had like.
He had like
yeah,
20. He had
bought
like,
it in bulk
he had a
or-
whole bunch of games, a whole bunch of Switch games, all brand new. And so,
You notice, Ness, he's telling us now after the deal's been done.
well, y'all can come over here and get it. I mean,
like,
but
he just
still,
wrote
it's
a
like-
mail or something.
I just think about this and like, man, I'm not gonna buy this until it drops in price, and it dropped in price. For
I'm
me.
not. I'm just not into. I can't get into Final Fantasies. I just can't. I just can't.
That's like you know I was gonna buy that, but shoot. He right.
Well, I mean, so Final Fantasy 7. If you was it the Engarde version, which is the first print on PS5.
Oh yeah, integrate.
Yeah, integrate. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the rare one, is what they call it.
The rare one.
Well, that's a first print, so they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, this
Oh.
first print right here,
Yeah, it's got to have it on the bottom.
in integrate right there.
Yeah, the
Oh,
integrate.
I don't know if my kid has that one or not.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the first release. So if you got that, and if you for some crazy ass reason haven't unopened it, just leave it sealed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I got it on PS4, so I can play it. And
Yeah.
update it on
If you
PS4.
really want to play it at this point now, then just go get you a secondhand copy at GameStop and play that, and leave that Joker sealed.
And,
Oh,
and
really?
also,
Why,
too,
why is it
it's
rare?
about-
They just changed the cover.
It's
or-
just
It's about
because
$100.
kind of think of it like Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation 1 with the misprint. It's kind of like that. So even though the misprint
if I see it at a pawn shop, even though I'm not a Final Fantasy fan, pick it up even.
Yeah, it says remake integrates because the newer copies don't have that at the bottom.
But I'm
So-
saying even if it's not sealed, still pick it up.
I had all intentions on playing it, and it just fell into my massive backlog of PlayStation games. And then by the time the day I was going to crack it open and play it,
Yeah.
I just so happened to be on my phone and somebody was like, "Yo, this got shot up to $100," and I was like, "Do I have this version?" And I'm
Did I
like,
tell you that? Did I tell you that or somebody else?
"I told you that."
I'm like,
Now I'm gonna have to look at my kid's game tomorrow.
you gotta
See if he
see.
has it.
I mean, sometimes you buy stuff, you put it up, like, because I bought it when it first came out. Like, I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
it, but I already had it on PS4. Like,
But you know what else too? I found out over Christmas, and I should have bought it when I did, and I didn't. Remember when GameStop was doing that big blowout sale?
oh yeah, everybody.
The Five Nights of Freddy collector's edition that I can't stand the game. I don't like the movie, whatever. But the collector's edition I could have got for $8. It's going for like $400 for that collector. I don't know why. At least over Christmas it was, and it was so hard to find. My brother's like, "You didn't happen to buy that when you were doing it?" I was like, "No, why would I want that?" It was at this when I went back to the store, somebody had already bought it because I was going to buy it then. Just
the
to,
movies
just
coming
to
out?
flip. What's
Maybe.
that?
It might be because the movie's coming out.
It was probably over that time when the movie was coming out or whatever. But it was the one Five Nights of Freddy collector's edition. So if anybody has it, check the value on it because it might have came down, but it still might be high. And I was doing that with Among Us. My kid has the other one. I bought 2 of them. So I have one of them that's still sealed for PS4, the collector's editions of Among Us, because apparently that goes up and down in value. Apparently,
Really? I still have it. I think. Well, do I still have that?
has like the plushie and everything inside.
Yeah,
of it.
I don't know if I traded in or not. Everything's in storage, so now I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about $100. Oh shit, about 170.
It shot up. We were getting that stuff for like
149.
For what? The Five Nights of Freddy? Yeah, that's what I said. If you guys can find the Five Nights of Freddy, if somebody's getting rid of it, buy it. The collector's edition. Even if
Somebody
it's
selling
sealed.
a box just for $20.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And apparently Among Us is up in value too. I don't know if it
I told you that was gonna happen. Remember we said like,
You
these
did say
things
that.
I said these things gonna be like when everybody's selling all that stuff, it's gonna be hit a low and it's
Yep.
gonna shoot back up. I told you that it happens all the time with that GameStop stuff.
and I
all
don't know. It is a weird story, Terry. I was kicking myself because I bought the Hot Wheels one that you don't even really need the console. You
I
can do
should
it
have
with your
bought the
phone.
Hot Wheels thing too.
I bought it for $7 and I was like, but that
Did that
thing's
come
up
up
in
to-
value too.
Did it?
I
Hold
think
on.
that one's close to like $50-$60 right now.
No
And
way.
yeah, and I paid $7 for it.
I bought that too. I think I got rid. Yeah, I got rid of it.
Did you get rid of it? Yeah.
I still have Callisto though.
I didn't open my Callisto. I still have that.
I didn't
I
either.
still got a Callisto. I didn't open that one.
And I still have a sealed Street Fighter
6.
collector's edition for Xbox Series X.
It
up
went
there.
back up.
I still have that. I opened the PlayStation one, but I didn't open the.
I
But
traded.
yeah,
that.
I kept the Among Us because one of the boxes was damaged, and because my son's like, well, I'll take that one because he said I want to open it. So I kept the other one sealed.
It's still hovering around $100.
What's that?
Well, the Street Fighter, but when you buy it for like $40, the Street Fighter 6 collector's
up.
edition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll be. I'm sure that'll be. That was normally like what, $250?
It was $250, yeah, then it dropped
250.
down to like what?
Well, yeah, because everybody's got.
40, and then everybody got them.
Yep.
And then, boy, the video I made, people went back and watched it. Oh, I just got it. I said, good. Glad for you. I took the bullet because I'm a Street Fighter fan. I didn't care. So I knew what I was getting into. Like, I broke down everything for it.
Oh, I went out.
$50. Then the statues, all that stuff was another $150.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was cool with it. I knew what I was getting into.
I got the Horizon. You can see the box down there.
the Horizon thing. Yeah, that's expensive still.
And I opened that up, even though I didn't really need the game. I already had the game, but
Yeah, the elephant
statue's
is cool.
nice.
Yeah, I got the elephant over here.
That's
I love that.
that's what I
love
have.
that
The elephant. It's up on my.
I'm so
Podcast.
upset I didn't get a Horizon.
Didn't you? Yeah, that was a good.
Couldn't
That
find
was
it.
a great collector's edition.
And
I have a
think
God of
that
War
was
though.
War.
I did get God of War, so
Oh, see, I didn't get the God of War. Like that would have been cool to get the God
I
of War.
didn't like the God of War one.
The Horizon
just
one
wanted the
is,
hammer. I just wanted the
Yeah.
hammer. So
Oh, okay.
that's
You
all.
still
see-
wouldn't find it.
But we were all talking about it, like, because I was like, Brandy, you need to get out there too. I was like, well, Steve put a video out, like, you need to get out there.
Bro.
Like,
Yo, when you put that video out, Steve, everybody, their mama was putting a video out right after that, man.
Dude.
It just boom.
I didn't even waste time. I literally
People hate
finished-
GameStop until GameStop doing stuff like that. People hate GameStop until they start giving away free stuff like that. That
Okay.
was last year. That was the best week GameStop
Yes.
ever.
By far.
You put it out. I was like finishing your video as I'm driving to GameStop, like literally.
Yeah, you send me a message in the chat like, "Hey, I got this. I got this." Like,
I'm sending all these
pictures.
I'm sending these guys pictures. I'm
Look what I
like,
got. Look what I got.
yep. I wasn't messing around. I was like, you know what? $300 worth. I think I spent a total of like $600, and I got like
Yeah.
$3,000 worth of
I was
stuff.
like, why?
I spent like
Why
that
did I
much
spend all
too,
this
yeah.
money?
That was
so
so
crazy.
great. Oh my goodness, that was.
Yeah,
I think I
Tejon in
did
there.
stuff
So
with you, Steve, didn't I? You
Huh?
traded me a Street Fighter 6 for a Callisto,
yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Callisto,
I
yeah.
had 2 of them.
Oh, Daryl's saying the Turtle Special Edition is on sale at GameStop too. I did get that
Ooh.
collector's edition too,
He
Is that
said
right
when he
now?
got left work. he
and I got the whatever.
got
What's,
work
what's the other?
restaurant.
What's the other BMX? Not the BMX. The
Oh,
motorbike.
yeah, the ATX.
I got that one too. I didn't really want it,
Yeah.
but I got it.
I'm just waiting for that dang Avengers to drop in price.
Bruh, they was not trying to drop that. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Ain't
It's a
nobody
horrible
trying to
game,
buy
but
that.
the collector edition is dope though.
I was trying to get that. I was like, is this on sale? They're like, nope, that's full price. I'm like,
And then the
why?
Batman wasn't on sale. It was like half price, but it was still like $150. I'm not pay that.
Yeah, that was the best. That made owning the PlayStation or the GameStop yearly thing that they do.
players
The
worth,
players, yeah, that made it worth it in itself because
It's still worth it to me. It's $25 there,
but I'm saying that kind of like my brother went out just to get a membership for that when he saw it. When I'm like telling him, I'm like, you need to get out to GameStop. He bought some Christmas presents for his kid like that too.
oh man, oh that was so good. Y'all remind me that was such a great week. I went to GameStop every day that week.
Oh, we all were, bro. It was like
As soon as
I
you
was
put
going
that video
during
out.
lunch breaks. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
going during lunch breaks. Hell, I was finding stuff, and I was so excited in GameStop. I had all intentions on making a video for my channel, and I didn't even get footage because I was in there collecting all that. I was like, let me get this, let me get this.
Yeah.
It's just like, give me it all.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that. Daryl's got I wanted to know more details about that too, with the GameStop employee that was trying to take the game from you.
Oh, today I put it on Twitter. All right, where is it?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like,
Man,
What
okay, so
man,
okay,
oh, you didn't see that, Neo?
yeah, okay. Where is it?
I guess
Oh,
not.
Steve put it out there where
All right, so I go to
listen to this.
GameStop.
This is good.
I go to GameStop and I'm looking for some retro games, right? And as soon as I get in there, these guys had this, and I was looking at it. $6 Metal Gear Solid 2. And I'm like, okay, that's a good copy. But I already got it, but like I was looking for some Xbox 360 games. It was complete, looking nice. I said, hey man, y'all got some more. He was also looking at Metal Gear Solid 1, but it had no manual. It was like $29. I said I should have bought it, but I said I already had a copy, so I didn't really need it, right? So I was looking at it like, man, I'm gonna get that. Then they open up the drawer and they pull out some more games. Dude pull out freaking Advance Wars for $30. And he like, oh yeah, this is mine. I'm getting this. I'm buying this. I'm buying it. He didn't give me a chance. I said, I want to get that. I said, no, I want that. And then I said, out of spite, you know what? I'm getting it out of spite because you're not finna get this over a customer. I said, no, I'm finna get this. And me and him going back and saying, you want to lose your job over? I said, listen here, you want to lose your job over a video game? I got a week left. I don't care. GameStop or not. I said, you want that bad comp? Well, I don't believe in it. I said, and then he'll tell me like, I said, I want this game. I said, man, you going? I just said like this. Hey, you don't want this. You want this trouble like this. I want to get this game. I'm buying this. Ring it up. And then he was like, and he found it, rung it up and stuff. Right. I got that, and then I got SmackDown versus Raw 2010 on the DS. And I wasn't gonna get it out of spite, telling the customer not gonna get something that you. And then when he do it, he said, "Hey, what's your customer? What's your company? What's your number? So I can see what kind of discount I'm getting." I'm like, "Hold on, bro, you don't do that." Yeah. So I took it just because out of spite. And then I wrote a thing on Facebook. I don't usually like doing it because I like GameStop. I wrote something on Twitter. And then when I went to another GameStop, I told these new GameStop people came in, and I told them, but they seemed like they didn't care. I like whatever, but still, just out of spite, I got it. You know, that was some bullshit that he did there. Like,
I didn't think
being
they could.
greedy.
If you're working, I didn't think you could do that. Say,
They do it. They don't care. It's a revolving door at this.
They don't
point.
care, yeah.
The
Wow.
corporate just like
They
they've
don't care.
removed benefits from last time I heard. You know,
They don't.
so they pay is not good. They're
And I
overworking,
understand.
understaffed. It's not a good place to work anymore.
And
Now,
I
mind-
understand that, but the greediness of, you know, if you wanted this, why you didn't put this in front of somebody before you got there? Not when a customer is like saying, take it out of somebody, like, hey, that ain't coming down hard. Paul.
Yeah. It's the same here too.
Okay, yeah, like it was like, why would you do that, you know? And I did. I got it out of spite just because, you know what? I'm gonna teach you a lesson, you know.
Talk
But
about
still, it's like I'm gonna get this because I think this is like a $50 game right now. I think. I don't know. I gotta look and see. It's probably a $30 game, but I just bought it. Just why would you do something like that in front of a customer? You know, it's just like these kids these days. I sound old as hell. Like,
I went to a GameStop a month and a half ago, and there was a similar case where they actually had a MK1 collector's edition sitting there on the back shelf. I was like, "Yo, is that available?" They're like, "Yeah, it's available." And then one of the guys comes up, he's like, "Oh, what? It is? I thought that was for a customer. Oh, I need this."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, so I can't get that?" Oh, well, you know, we probably need to put this in the back because we, you know, he blatantly said he was going to use his discount to purchase it right in front of me. And I was like,
wow.
bro, but I want that. So you're telling me I can't have it? Is that what you're telling me right now? Oh, no. Well, I mean, if you want it, you can have it. I was like,
he sized you up too, though. He like,
I was like, dude, I don't want it. But I was like, here, I don't know how long you've worked here, but a good rule of thumb when, you know, you may not give a damn about this job, but let me give you a good rule of thumb and just in business in general. Never, ever put your customer to the side and say you're going to do something else, whatever, against your customer. Because they're in your place of business, right? He's a younger guy. He's young. And I'm like, look, I'm not here to bash you. I'm not here to, you know, be your dad, your brother, your uncle, whatever. I'm just telling you how business works. I'm a paying customer who's willing to buy from you. You have an organization who definitely would rather you bleed on their floor than you not to sell something.
Yeah.
So just remember your customers are here. You know, you have a paying customer who's here willing to purchase this. I'm not like, look, if you want it and you need it that bad, by all means, it's all yours. He's like, no, man, I'm sorry, dude. No, you're right. No, it's like, no, look, I'm not mad. I'm not upset, but I'm just letting you know, like, I could have been somebody else coming in here. I could have been somebody at your corporate office playing as a customer.
Yeah.
You're right. I didn't think about that. I could have been a ghost buyer. You would have never known.
But usually, like when I worked retail when I was in college, like if there was anything on the floor, you were not allowed to buy it unless you were on break.
Exactly.
Or if you were off the clock. Like you could get it before as long as somebody was there to ring you in. Like if the registers weren't like checked in for the day and they couldn't ring you up, like you couldn't just put it aside in the back first. Like it was fair game for anybody to get. So that's why I was floored when I saw Steve's tweet about that. I was like, how can they do that? Like,
times have changed. I always say this: the times of Funko Land, Babbage's, and EB Games are gone.
yeah.
Those
I
were
remember
the days.
getting my Dreamcast at Babbage's growing up.
Yep. Same. I got mine
Pre-ordered
too.
it. Yep.
Actually, got mine when they were discontinuing. I bought my Dreamcast for $80.
Oh no, I pre-ordered it. I was one of the dummies, and I even got the magazines. I wish I still had the magazines to this day. I bought the subscription. They gave you like free. I think it was like 2 or 3 months, and I had all the demo discs. Oh man, I was all in on the Dreamcast.
Golly, the demo disc. You're taking me back now.
Dude, man, I was all in on Dreamcast because my brother was a Nintendo freak, and I was the Sega guy, and I'm like, this is how it's done. You know, you had the VMUs, and it was all. Everybody's like, what do you want to do with that? Like, who's gonna do that? I'm like, yeah, but this is awesome. You know.
That's that. See that right here. This damn. thunderstorms, everything. I'm sorry.
You're good.
My bad. I was like, but, Steve, you just popped up. Both Steves, both of you. So you talked about the demo disc, and Steve, you popped up the Metal Gear Solid 2. I remember to the T getting out of school. I was in high school when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and my buddy had the demo for it. It was dark. It was maybe like 5 or 6 o'clock, winter, whatever.
Yep.
And it was the first time seeing this game. Solid Snake. Boom, we're playing this demo. It's raining and thundering outside. It's raining and thundering on the tanker mission. And we were so engaged with it. And I was like, this game is amazing. I just had the massive flashback when he popped that game up. And then right then when you said demo discs in the Dreamcast, I just remember of walking into the Babbages in high school, and they knew us by name. And what's up? Y'all in here? But we were in Babbage's so much. We were playing in the arcades at the mall so much that when games were supposed to be released a day before, we were getting them a day before other people.
Wow.
That's how often we were, because we like that back when I was playing in tournaments, fighting game tournaments, all that stuff. So all those
But
guys
you were considered a mall rat, so they gave you.
We were mall rats.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, 100%. We all were, like, because we played in the arcades and stuff. We were mall rats.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you did on your free time.
Stayed
100%.
in there. The 3 stores I was, or actually 3 places I was in the mall. 4 places: the food court, the arcade, the comic book store.
Yep.
And Babbage's, and then there was the EB games before they went away. And it was
so we actually had. I don't know if you guys had it. We actually had a manga store as well.
Really? Okay.
Yes, with all like Neogen. What was it? Neo
Angelus.
Genesis.
Yes, yeah, and then you had Sailor Moon, you had Dragon Ball Z, you had
I forgot, but Neo VO
Magic Knight Ray Earth. You had all the different ones. Like Ranma Half was one of my favorites.
Oh man, I had that game on Super Nintendo.
I had the DVDs and everything for that, and then when I got married and moved out, I lost all. I like the box sets. I had the comics. Yeah. That was my favorite. I had one of the Dragon Ball Z scrolls, but we actually, we had where you could get the graphic novels in there. Like it wasn't the comic books. You went to the comic book store for that, but they were the actual graphic novels that you could get, and you could pre-order them kind of like you would with comic books, so that the next month when it came out, it was just a little hole in the wall shop in the mall. But anything manga, you could get posters, T-shirts, keychains, you name it. It was like all tailored to Japanese animation. It was pretty cool. That's when, because my best friend, he was into all of it, so we kind of followed suit. I mean, right?
I think sometimes I kind of wish, just in terms of like the classic way video games were sold, I kind of miss that. I miss going into like the local Walmart and they having the kiosks there and you can play.
Yes.
Right? I miss that. I miss Toys R Us, where they had the whole wall of games, and then the plethora of
TVs above.
TVs, and the Nerf gun section was massive, and the Super Soaker section was massive in the summer. Yep. All that stuff. I miss that. Just we don't have that anymore. These kids don't know. They just don't.
I think my son was 3.
Don't know.
My son was 3 when Toys R Us closed up, but my daughter remembers Toys R Us, and she even to this day, she's like, I miss Toys R Us, even though I don't play with toys anymore. It was like, because it was a treat. We'd always take her, if she was good that week, we'd take her to pick out some toys, something little at Toys R Us, because it was right where we would go get dinner or something. And when they closed up, because we had Kitty City. Kitty City was another one that had like a bunch of the TVs and stuff. Man, I used to remember we had a store called Clover, and we'd go to the electronics spot, and that was right around the time of the Nintendo Sega Master System, and we would stand there, and my parents would shop, but we would stand there and play video games in the store, and they didn't care. They never told you like you couldn't do it. Like all the kids, they'd all be standing there like playing, and everybody take turns or you play each other. Like that doesn't exist today.
In a way, it don't. in some way. Only way it kind of exists when you see younger kids. When you go like, we got a place, this furniture store that has like a lot of display units, but
Yeah.
you can see kids, but then they still be tearing the shit out of this stuff.
I was just gonna say they'll tell you can't, like, even in GameStop they'll say, like, hey, can I help you with something? Well, no, they'll tell them to leave. Like, you can't sit there and play the kiosks anymore. They're more just display.
Display, yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's something to play the
You
whole.
want to test it out at home on your console, and you can get on and do a.
But like I said, like you just like to say, Steve, demo disc, the demo disc, then from demo disc to digital, and then from going from the store to going back, going home, and I love my demo disc. I got so many demo discs that I pick one up, like, yeah, here we go. Remember, like, when demo discs would come out, you had to go to certain stores to get a certain game. Yep. I remember, like, I had to drive so many places just to get SmackDown. I think it was Just Bring It on a demo disc, and I was like, I need to get that SmackDown game. The Xbox magazines. You remember when they started putting the magazines on there?
I have it for the 360. And these are all like ones that I had from this. That's why I said I wish I had the Dreamcast ones, but I have. I have a ton of them, like version 3. Man. I don't know if they're worth anything, but
you can find the bundles online pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, I just kept them because it was like my son's like, wait, they're only demos. I was like, yeah, like a level or two.
Some demos have games that wasn't released, and some demos are really
yeah. But I said to him, I was like, you don't understand. As kids, we didn't get a video game every month or every week or something. Or I was like, this held us over till Christmas. Let me tell you, this is how you found out what game you wanted for Christmas or your birthday. You played. You couldn't wait till the magazine came, right?
I was just, when you was gone, I was telling him, like, remember, like, some stores had only KB Toy Stores only had this one. Sears only had this.
Yes.
One. Walmart only had this demo disc, and you had to get there before all the demo discs get gone.
Yep.
And it's only like you can only take one, but they was like behind the counter. Oh, you got the demo disc. I remember like, oh, you got the last one. Oh, now I don't know if it was the last one, but still, I had to like drive right.
And what we would do is we talk to I don't know if you guys did that. We would talk to other friends, like they'd be like, hey, we're going to Kmart tonight. So,
oh my God, I was just thinking about Kmart, bro.
And then what we would do is we're like, I could get my mom and my sister, because like you said, they'd only give one demo disc per person, right?
Yeah.
They get the mom or sister, like, and then we'd be like, oh, we're going to Toys R Us. So we would get another demo and we would swap the demo discs, like, to build the collection. Oh, 100%. It
was like 30 minutes to an hour worth of content, but you were playing over and over and over.
Oh my gosh.
Over and over.
That was your brand new game for the month.
Let me ask y'all this question. Do you remember where you purchased your PlayStation 2? What store?
So, as funny as this sounds, like right when the PlayStation 2 came out, I was in college, okay? And I had just gotten engaged to he's got some too. I had just gotten engaged to my wife, and she got it for me for Christmas at the King of Prussia Mall in Philadelphia.
Wow, nice.
And the reason was because of Guitar Hero. I wanted to play Guitar Hero.
Okay.
Because my brother-in-law had it. And I was like, I'd never seen this before. Because like I was in college.
Guitar Hero 1 was amazing.
He played Bark at the Moon backwards on Expert. Wow. And I was hooked. I was like, yeah, I want that. So that's where I got my PlayStation 2. I have some PS3
right
demos
like that. Dope.
This right here, this demo. I don't know what's on this demo disc, but I remember PlayStation 1, but I remember I definitely remember this. My PlayStation 2, I got it at KB Toy Stores. I pre-ordered it. Every month I paid on it, or every 2 weeks I paid on it, because I was waiting tables at what's this place called, Bonanza in Arkansas, Palm Bluff. And every 2 weeks I go pay on it. I go pay like $25 here, $25 at $50 here. And paid, was it like $3.99, $2.99, something like that, whatever. And to this day, I remember that. I remember that blue box. She pulled it on the counter, And she looked at me, well, baby boy, you paid it off, huh? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'm gonna go home and play all this. And she's like, she smiled at me because it's a black lady. She's like, well, I want to proud of you. You've been here every last month trying to pay this thing out. I paid it out. I was so happy. I was like, I feel like I grabbed that PS2. I still can remember me grabbing that PS2, put that KB Toy Store. I said, let me get 3 games. Had enough for 3 games. I forgot what games they were, but oh my goodness. That's like I remember getting the PlayStation 1 for the first time, going to Blockbuster Video, renting it, Ballerina Toshina, Jumping Flashes. I think it was Kalik I get. But I know it was Ballerina Toshina and Jumping Flash, because I remember how Jumping Flash made me feel when it jump up and you go right down and you made that sense that you felt. I remember that. 2 controllers, me and my cousin sitting there all weekend long playing PlayStation right in front of TV and from Blockbuster. And then we played it so much, man. His dad called Blockbuster and said, hey, can we just keep this for another week? And he played it, boy.
Wow.
It was over. It was over there. I was a PlayStation guy.
That's what the kids aren't gonna know today. Like we played when we got a console and it was brand new. Like everybody came to your house, everybody brought their games, and everybody hung out all day long. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's what we did.
I mean,
it's so easy now. Kids don't have to work like Cake said. Like it's sad to think our generation is the last generation holding the line and fighting for physical. Like people had to work. This was work. This was work. A freaking demo. This was work, yo. Oh my gosh, that was work. This right here is not work. The only thing is you gotta pay enough money or fight scalpers. This ain't work.
B's 100% right. You see that in there? She's like, friends brought their controllers. That's how we played 4 players, man.
Yes,
dude, that's 100%
all day.
Yeah,
hell, there was sometimes we brought TVs too.
Yep. You're not listen.
You brought your
when you're at grandma's house, you grab whatever TV you had extra and you put them side. Listen, we did it.
We don't carry that 150-pound bastard out the door.
I wish we had pictures of it or even video. My brother will tell you I carried our 19-inch because my grandma at the time she had foster kids, and we would play Tecmo Super Bowl and then we would play Wayne Gretzky's ice hockey.
Yep.
And I carried my 19-inch CRT on a bike to my Gram's house, which was blocks and blocks away. That's what you did. You put it on the bike and you were pushing the bike. No, literally, I had it on my lap. Once we got uphill, what we did was we hooked the jump rope to it so my brother could help me get up the hill by pedaling. And when we got to the top, we'd unhook it, and then I'd be on flat ground. Honestly, God, that's what we did. We had to, or we'd attach it to a wagon. I know it sounds crazy, but we were 12, 13. We hook it to a wagon with a jump rope and put the TV in the wagon. Look at his comment. He said, "Nah, your boy got the control with the sticky button."
I bought my PS2 at Circuit City.
I remember Circuit City.
Yeah, my buddy, he worked at Circuit City, so I got a discount. I got to use his employee discount for my PS2. And my first video game was Tekken Tag Tournament.
Oh,
so good.
When I tell you, the soundtrack was so good in that game, bro. The music,
you just let it play.
It was so smooth. It was such a well done game. That blue disc, I just remember popping it open the box, and the back of that disc was blue. I'm like, oh my god!
I let this play on the back. I'm just with this Tekken 8 control, Tekken 8 soundtrack. I just let it play in the background and be working. I'd be like, I ain't. Soundtracks. I'm like, oh,
soundtrack was so fire on Tekken, man. They it just, man, y'all taking me all the way down like memory lane for real right now.
Yeah, that's what we do in this podcast. Y'all talking about video game and life, y'all.
But this is why. Again, we're going back to like what he said in the beginning about selling your collection. What now that I've got some of this stuff, I think back and I hold it in my hand and I go, like you just said with the PS2, where were you when you got that? And I can look at everything, even though it's not the same one that I had as a kid, even though I have some pieces from when I was a kid. I look at it and I go, I remember wanting Super Mario Brothers 2 so bad when it came out. We got it for Easter. We didn't care, like, because like I said, we didn't have a lot of money. My parents were like, well, if we get that for you, it's going to be for you and your brother, and we're not getting you candy. You might get a little bit of stuff, but that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking $50 back then. Man, we did not put that game down. We played it till we beat it. We beat it over, or then we beat it with every character, and because every character could do something different. Like that's what goes through my mind when I look at some of these games, and that's why maybe my collection, like I don't just pick one particular system. Like if my friend had a system and I remember playing that game, like I want it because I didn't have it, right? So I don't know. It's just weird.
It's simpler times, man. It's simpler times where the biggest headache you had was blowing in a cartridge to make sure it worked in the console.
Yep. You didn't have these either. Everybody just knew. Like you told them the night before, you're all on your bikes and you're like, hey, I'm going tomorrow to get Sonic the Hedgehog. Whose house are we going to? And that's where you met. You know, like you took the cartridge. You're bringing the cartridge. All right, cool. Everybody else is bringing controllers. And that's what we did.
I tell you, video games were life back then. It was literally after school. We're going to somebody's house, and
that's right.
Whose house are we going to, and where are we playing? We already knew the games we were playing, and don't forget, we left camp. We left, high school campus, because they let us leave back then for an hour to go to lunch off campus. So we were going straight to the mall and going to the arcade for lunch and playing. So we were playing at lunch. After school, we're playing pretty much until it was dinner time. And then either we're staying at that friend's house and having dinner with their family, or we're going back home. And then all weekend, it was gaming. That's all it was. And then it was somebody at school would be like, hey, have you played this game? No, I haven't played it before. That's really not my jam. I don't play that genre. Just give it a shot. It was word of mouth. It wasn't internet, all that stuff. It was strategy guides and word of mouth. That's all it was.
Well, you remember when 007 came out for N64? That's all you played, right? Everybody's like controllers. You went to everybody's house.
Man,
you played 007. That was like the equivalent of like a Fortnite today or a Call of Duty. Like that was what you did.
Yeah.
That's what you did, right?
Remember how you traded games?
Oh yeah.
The honesty of trading games back in the day.
It was actually pretty solid. I remember 2 games. Even Babbage's before they had just shifted to GameStop.
I'm talking about trading games with your friends.
Oh. Well.
Oh no, traded for games with friends all the time.
Like you say, hey, get your game. Let me borrow your game. I'll trade you with you.
Borrow. Yep.
And then borrow it back and forth. You didn't do that.
I did that. You know why I did that? I did that with one game, and I said never again. Because I gave it to one of my buddies. It was Dragon Ball GT Final Bout on PlayStation 1, the US version. I let him borrow it.
Smashed.
Let him borrow it for a week. The manual, he said, I lost the manual.
Oh.
Mind you, this is probably one of the rarest games at the time because it's the only Dragon Ball game in English in existence at the time.
With that bad voiceover. Oh my God.
There's none of that. This was the only one in English. Everything else was in Japanese. And he lost the manual. I had people offering me $300-400. I had a GameStop. Right when they shifted the name from Babbage's to GameStop. I had them $300 cash for this game. I wouldn't trade it. Because my mom bought it for me. She bought it for me for $20 at EB Games. I still have that game.
See, I always liked it. Like, I don't know, Steve, if you remember, like when you let somebody borrow it, like I made mistakes. I learned as I went on with like Nintendo, you give them the box and the box would come back smashed or something. But the manual always had a story to it, right? As many people as you let borrow, like you'd find Dorito stains on some of the manuals because people used to sit there and read. Yeah. Or people put their notes in it like, this is the code, right? Like as disgusting as that was, man. Like I have one back there. I have a manual in one of my games from my childhood, and I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when I gave it to that person. Like that itself tells a story, right?
I let my cousin borrow a system. He lost it. I took his system. My cousin, my first year.
He's tapping for his whole console, bro.
He
What was
said,
it?
I'm
Oh,
taking
I
your
let him
console,
borrow-
man.
I let him borrow my Game Gear, and he let me borrow his Genesis. And he lost the Game Gear. Somebody stole it at school. I took his Genesis. I was so hard.
I mean, you know what? To be honest,
Hey,
he
that's
came
fair,
up.
fair.
That was a come up because I mean, you got a Genesis, and I mean,
Not
you
back in
really-
the day when everybody had a Game Boy and you had the Genesis. You had the Game Gear with a color TV, and like you like,
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
look
that
at-
Game
yours
Gear
was
was
portable too.
20 pounds, though.
Yeah,
That Game Gear was 20 pounds.
it was, but had all the batteries, and then it was color, but it was good.
It was
I,
good.
I would like to get. I think you know what this year. I think I'm gonna get another Game Gear, but with different like screen on it. I want a Game.
Oh, I have one that I got. I have one that's still stock, but I got one with the LCD and recapped.
Mhm.
Dude, it's like playing like a modern console. Honestly,
But
God, it's
but
like-
yeah, I want with somebody put like not recharge. We a rechargeable seat battery or something like that. or rechargeable-
Oh,
make
see,
it-
what I did? I got one of these,
I had a Turbo Express, but I sold that.
and this thing will last. You could play for 10 hours with this thing, and it won't even die. And it's got on the front where you can hook in your DC connections, and then they have adapters for each device.
Mm.
And it has on here. It has you can do 12 volt, 16 volt, or 19.
You
19
need to send me
volt.
that. I need to get that for. Send me the link to that. I need to buy that for Japan when I go.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is a pretty sweet device. Like you can do a lot with it. But that's what I use for my Nomad. I
Send me
use
that.
it for the Nomad and the Game Gear, so
Send
that
me
way I
that.
don't even put batteries in because I don't want to risk acid drainage.
Somebody said Steve Bloom played Goku in that game. What? Did he?
I think so because the voice actors was different in Final Bout. Like they weren't the Funimation, they weren't the Ocean Dub actors.
No,
There
they
were
were just
some-
random people.
They were just out. They were solid.
Yeah, it was solid, but it wasn't like you go back now like, oh, you know.
I mean, you're.
I
if
go
you're-
like the original one and then the remake are two different games. Because the remake don't have all them old voices on there, or do they?
I think no, because they would still be licensed under the game, and they would probably have to pay them. So
I think they redid the voices.
I need to
don't
go
know.
back and double check. I have both copies.
I don't have. I would like to get the original. I have the newer one, the remake, not remake, but you know the new one with the it was right there. Let me get it.
I think I even still have the Game Boy. Well,
I
I have
got
the
this
Game
one.
Boy, but I have
I
the
got
battery.
this one.
Yeah,
I got
that's
here.
that's the Atari version.
Yes, Atari version. The other one is what? What's the other version?
Steve, Daryl just said, "I got you, Steve." He must have it.
Oh, okay, well, good.
Daryl
Thank you,
must
I
have
need
it.
I need it because I've been looking for it. This one is I'm keeping it, but it's so bad though. It's so bad. But I'm guessing you like try to play it now. You know, it's like
Yeah, I mean, there's certain places like Crash Bandicoot. I'll play Spyro the Dragon. I'll play that on PS1. A lot of the PS1 games didn't hold up.
no, they did not hold up.
They just didn't.
They kind of, you know, Crash kind of held up.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I've been playing it on the PS4, the collection on there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use some of those consoles, like I said, to do content like I've been doing with my shorts and kind of go through some of them, reminiscing.
What happened? What happened is?
Oh, I had to change my battery.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you pulled Steve.
Oh,
My wife was on the other side, she was like, "You're at 8%." My production crew back here, taking care of me.
I told you.
Because I had one.
Hey, what I tell you? I said, whenever you talking to Nancy, we might as well be talking to Nancy and his wife. She gonna be right there too.
She over here saying, "Shut up." She back here. She been
I
listening.
told you. What I tell you. That's why I say I'm comfortable. I'm gonna say I'll be talking. I say, what's the wife right there? Is she? Yep.
She's a supporter.
That's good.
I think this is something that a lot of people
You
don't
gotta
talk
change the
about
battery.
on these shows is changing your battery.
We need. I know about batteries.
I bought a charger today. Finally,
Did you?
Yeah, I got a charger with the extra battery packs and all that. So now I got
Oh,
extra
good.
batteries. But then I got my dummy battery coming tomorrow. Amazon was on that BS today.
Boy, that you know what? The background look it's bad,
It ain't
but
right. It ain't giving.
It ain't. It looks
Dude,
lonely.
why didn't you take a picture of your game room before you tore everything down, and we could have green screened you and just had that behind you, and then
Yeah,
nobody would know.
I thought about that, but I was like, you know what? I want everyone to get used to this because
It's gonna be like that for a while.
yeah, it's gonna be like this for a hot minute. Because even this scenery behind me, this is gonna change in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. You
I'll have to
tear
move
that down.
out of here into my apartment, and then that's
Oh.
really gonna be. I don't know what the heck
That's gonna be brutal. I don't
No.
remember the Blockbuster stuff. We had because Blockbuster at the time you had to be 18 or something to get a card or something. So I didn't have that till later in life. But Hollywood Video, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, Hollywood Video was great.
Dude, you could buy video games there for like $2 to $3, like retro stuff that they rented. I remember
when they
buying
went out
a
of
lot.
business, boy, man.
Oh yeah,
family
That's
family video.
Yeah, family video.
Family Video. Yep, we
Yep.
had one of them.
Was another one.
I got a Jungle N64 back when I was in college. I still don't know where it is to this day. But I got it at Hollywood Video for $5, and we played it.
Wow.
And we played it in the apartment that I had at college. And my wife still thinks that we have it somewhere. I just haven't found it.
You'll find it when y'all move or whatever. Like, oh, look at this right here.
Oh, it ain't moving. No. We just bought this house back in 2018. It's plenty big for it. If anything, I would downsize after the kids are grown and gone.
So like as we land, like try to almost land this plane, like so like the final thing about selling collections and stuff, right? I'll say do if you need some money, your games are, I hate to say games are an investment, but sometimes games do hold a value about something. Somebody always gonna want to buy a game. You gotta find the right person, but don't be stuck holding on to games and you broke. If you ain't got no good card, no good living arrangements, and you try to hold on for a game, that's so stupid. That's a broke mindset. The game will come back, or you can find and you play it somewhere. Now I understand, like if somebody gave you a game, like your mom or like a friend, or like people who send me a game, I don't ask people to, but to give me something, you don't want to kind of sell that. But if you got stuff that you can sell, and you get something else, like you can pay your car off and be debt free or something, do it.
Just keep your power gloves, people.
Like I said, hey, I had a power glove and a U-Force, and both of them joints wasn't working. I was like, I had it both. I'm like, I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna beat Mike Tyson. Got my ass whooped.
Mine worked pretty good. My kid was using it. He thought it was the coolest thing that he could play Mike Tyson's Punch Out and do
He got
that.
beat, didn't
He did. He thought it was cool.
he?
He thought it was. I thought it was a little bit of work, but he enjoyed it.
Man, hey, the U-Force was horrible.
I didn't get that. I've never even
I
used that.
that's
I'll have to
a
get one.
waste of money from Nintendo. I remember going to KB buying it. I was
Really?
so mad. They let me return it, but I was so mad. Oh, they got me. They got me. I really thought that commercial was little boy was doing all this and doing all this and doing this stuff. I was like, oh, I can do that too. I was like, oh, I like.
See, that's another thing in itself. The
What's that?
commercials were like
can-
action-packed, high-budget commercials.
So yes.
When was the
Blockbuster.
last time that you saw a commercial? Now that you bring that up for a video game.
What? PlayStation.
Yeah, no, but
That
I'm
was it.
saying an actual game. Like, I'm not talking a console. I'm talking like game. When was the last time you saw a commercial on TV for a game?
I think Horizon and God of War were the last ones I
Final
saw.
Fantasy.
Okay, but you're only talking about specific heavy hitters. You're not talking about, like, I remember them bringing up like a generic Nintendo commercial when it showed like a bunch of different
Oh,
games
yeah.
that you could get.
But also the thing about it, the major difference between then and now is they actually had the gamer in the commercial playing it, and they
Sitting at
had
grandma's
like
and playing it. Yep.
a real live segment of the gamer playing, whether they're in grandma's living room or whatever, and then they spun it to a live action style view of the game, like it was in real life. Like, oh, it's an army game. It's, you know, whatever. It's Operation Wolf, you know, something like that. And they're battling it out in this commercial, and then that finished it out with an explosion, and that's the end of the. Go get the game at your local Walmart. At
Sega!
your whatever, Sega, whatever, right? So those were super impactful commercials. Even the toy commercials were so crazy good back then, man. Like,
Hey,
you could
remember the
watch-
Mario 3 commercial?
What was it?
Remember the Super Mario Bros. 3 commercial?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
bro.
When they like Mario,
Mario,
Mario, yeah.
And then they made the whole Super Mario in the crowd.
He didn't, yeah. And then on the Earth, it was like just Mario and like.
But
Super
that's
Mario
what I'm
Bros.
saying.
3.
Like,
Yeah,
I remember
there.
commercials for Castlevania. I remember for Bayou Billy.
I do, yeah.
You
yeah.
don't see that anymore unless it's a heavy hitter, like you said, Horizon or God of War. Like you would never know what other games are on the PlayStation.
Like the "You Are Not Red E" ads from PlayStation. Yeah, "You Are Not Red E."
Yep. Like-
and they really wasn't PlayStation. Like they said, and I took that personal. And
But even in
they out
magazines,
there,
right?
like,
Back then, you could see a game advertisement in a regular magazine, not just gaming magazines. Not today. You
Yep.
won't see that.
No,
Yep.
no, man,
Like,
it's so
I
much
think
good
the
stuff.
most iconic console commercial that I can remember is the old PlayStation commercial where they were like PlayStation 9. Do you remember that?
Baby? The baby.
No, not the baby.
I remember that PlayStation 9 commercial.
Remember
It was-
that? Like they
I
were
don't know
like
if I've seen that
they
Oh,
went
it-
way ahead of time because it was like PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 at the time. And they were talking about PlayStation 9 just
It was
as
during the PlayStation 3 generation. I
okay,
remember that.
whatever that was.
And they had
Right.
that stupid baby one, that creepy baby one.
Yeah, that was like kind of
They had some weird commercials.
Daryl said there was a Nintendo Switch commercial back around the holidays.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, but that was
It might
like
have been, but it's not. Yeah,
it wasn't. For
you know,
all
we
these-
should do an episode on just video game commercials.
Yeah.
and like
that'd
and
be good.
actually have you show them. Like if we do a playlist and go through them and just show them, and we like talk about it. I think people will get
dope.
I think we can do something like that. Find some old commercials and stuff like that. Yeah,
even
Okay.
magazines or
Alright.
magazines from the
Oh.
80s, video game magazines from the 80s.
this right here.
Oh,
This-
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
that was yeah, that was
That was great. They
that
were
was-
the best.
Genesis was after Nintendo. Neo Geo was after everybody.
Yeah,
Nintendo
Neo
was
Geo.
like whatever.
But you know, I never saw that many Neo Geo commercials. It was like only.
I don't
two.
remember seeing any.
I
There's a
always saw
Fate
those ads, that bulldog, and like they was talking so
Yeah.
much crap and stuff. But
Yeah.
Nintendo and Sega commercials going back and forth.
You were
Man.
I don't even remember seeing TurboGrafx ones except for Bonk. I remember seeing a Bonk's commercial, and I remember seeing
Yeah,
the Turbo Express commercial where they were comparing it against the Lynx.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I remember
saw
the
that.
Lynx commercial where the kid he's in the porta-john in the bathroom. He's in the stall and he comes out soaking wet because he was playing the surfing game, and because the principal or the teacher's looking for him, he pulls it out while he's on the commode. He comes out wet, like I remember those commercials, but I don't remember like a
That's
maybe I
good.
do remember Jaguar commercial.
I never seen the Jaguar commercial.
You know
I-
what? I take it back. The most modern style
Crash
advertisement for a video game was on PS5. That was Sifu.
I never seen that commercial.
I didn't see that one either.
Like they did a live action kind of like mini demo commercial,
This is on
and it
national.
was amazing.
This is on national TV.
This is on TV, right? It's not on internet TV.
Oh, yeah, it was internet TV.
Oh,
Never
no.
mind.
Oh yeah.
You come
Internet
on,
TV, I've seen commercials. I have
Yeah.
seen commercials. That's a good
Yeah.
point, Steve. National TV, like you don't even
so
see it during the
national.
you don't even see it during the Super Bowl.
You saw some before, but no. You saw like Nintendo Switch or something like that, or Sony, but you didn't.
Oh
see,
yeah.
like- But
We
you didn't
probably
see
won't
like.
see anybody on. Do you think we'll see anything during the Super Bowl for a video game?
I think I
Since a
seen
lot of
some.
the car manufacturers are not going to be in the Super Bowl this year either.
I think I think we'll see Final Fantasy.
During the
think
Super Bowl?
I think we'll see a Final Fantasy 7 commercial. Yeah,
Really? Okay.
I really. That's a big ass game though. Look, and it's dropping around in a couple weeks.
I would be more inclined to think that they would drop a sports related commercial,
What?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
Madden.
like a
I-
Madden game or something.
Yeah.
The people who already bought Madden, that coming out. I mean, I can see that, but I'm saying, if
No, right.
I'm thinking,
Unless they're doing like
Final
a Super Bowl edition or something like that.
this is
They
what I
could-
think what they do. Like at the Super Bowl, I think they do Final Fantasy, but tied in to buy a PlayStation 5,
Like
Yeah.
showing like that's a heavy hitter. That's
like
gonna
a bundle, like the Spider-Man bundle, a Slim.
Oh,
They'll show
yeah.
Final Fantasy, and then they'll shoot it like, hey, buy it now, pay a PlayStation 5 Slim or some like new PS5. You can get it together and like that. You know, they'll show everything, Sephiroth and all that kind of stuff, all the graphics and all that kind of stuff. And they'll show like PlayStation 5 Slim. Boom, throw it out there.
But so Daryl says Smash Brothers commercial was so good. I've never seen the Smash Brothers commercial. Now, is this on, as they said, terrestrial TV? Is it on cable or is this internet TV? Because I haven't seen it.
I mean, it'd be good. But let's talk about he said probably W2K24 at NCAA about maybe. If they do NCAA
Regular TV?
football by 25 by EA, that'd go crazy.
Yeah, it'd be
Regular
bananas.
TV. Ooh, that'd be crazy. But next, let's talk about last word on the video game, selling the video game collection.
Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, and don't let negativity in the community deter you from taking care of business in your personal life. So if you need to sell your collection, sell your collection. If you've decided to walk away from that collection and say, hey, this isn't for me anymore. This isn't a hobby I continue to do, and I wish to move on to bigger and better things. Do that. Don't let anybody, hold that against you because one of those people couldn't do it, or they feel that you've offended them, or you've disrespected the hobby itself by letting go of the collection. Don't feel obligated to make anyone feel better about it, right? So
You're not a real collector.
yeah, like at the end of the day, we all go through periods of time where we want something and we're going to strive to get it, and we're going to grind to get it. And once we get to that milestone of whether that's a massive collection, great. And then after we've completed that collection, it's the big question of what do I do next? Whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. The major thought process there is like, I've accomplished my goal. I've hit my milestone. Now, do I sit back and relax and just sit and watch the sunset? Or do I strive for another subset within that same goal that I originally done? So, yeah, just
I love subsets.
don't. At the end of the day, I'm a crazy individual who's actually going for an English Neo Geo AES. It's the console set.
I believe you'll get it. It might take some years trying to find them last top 10, but I think you'll do it.
Yeah, it's if I decide to continue doing that, I mean, who knows? But as it sits right now, I'm 19 games away.
This is the first time I ever heard you kind of waver on that, though.
Well, I'm slowing down just because I have other priorities in my life right now that are taking precedence. So, the 2 games that you're holding for me, I'm counting those as part of my collection because I will come and get those from you.
You better bring your ass over here tomorrow.
That leaves me with 19 games to go to complete the English set. So 19 games is not a lot of games until it's done, but it is a lot of games because those games are freaking expensive. So there's that. But at the end of the day, as long as it makes you happy, as long as it's not causing you any stress and you're playing your games, like I always say, collect and play the way that you want to collect and play your games. That's all I got.
Steve, what do you got to say on this, brother?
All right, this is going to sound very profound, so everybody needs to pay attention closely. I agree with everything that Neo Ness said.
How did I know you were gonna do that? I had a feeling you gonna say that bull crap.
I love it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I love
Everybody had to cry over
You're so great. I love you, bro. Oh shoot. Oh.
I don't know why that's so funny, but that's so funny.
Damn, I missed this podcast, bro. Y'all don't
I think-
understand. I missed this.
I think Steve was sitting there thinking like, "Oh no, what's he gonna say?"
I was like, oh snaps. I was like, what's he gonna say?
You gotta go keep crying.
Oh.
Oh God!
Well, with that, Mr. Right.
Congratulations, you did actually did something good. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. It got me a eyelash falling in my eyelash. That was good. Every time it was perfect. That's how you do a joke.
Great timing.
It
Very
was
good.
great timing. It's like I even leaned in a little bit.
I did too. I was like, oh snaps, what's going on?
Oh, you dummy. Oh man, well y'all guys, this has been great. More changes are coming soon, about like a month or so, but we're doing some different stuff, changing some stuff up. But this has been fun. I missed this. We will be back next week on a Friday after SmackDown. We're gonna have some fun. Like I said, there'll be us, maybe more people coming. We're gonna have some guests this year too, different stuff. But I'm gonna just thank y'all for watching, man. We had like over 70 people concurrent. Oh, so it's
80 and a couple points. Yeah.
yeah, I know, right? So y'all had a good time, had a good laugh. We're gonna end on that. Steve gave us a good laugh, y'all. We'll see you next time, and always remember to do it the right way.